Alright. Evening, everyone. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance II. I'm Professor McCoy. Let's get back into things, shall we? As you may recall, we have some quests to jump straight back into. We've got to go talk to von Berghoff about his apparently psychotic and now dead captain. So that'd be fun to excuse away. Because of Samin and the betrayal of young newlywed. Was it Jan? No, it was Olga. Samin. Jan was the old guy. Olga, not Olga. Olga is a woman's name, more or less. Sword is polished and shined and stropped and fine. Okay, Olax is also nice and good. How's my armor? All tip-top shape. Okay, we're good. So, I'm in my armor. Good, very good. Let's, what, do we just need to wait? I guess we just probably need to wait. Whose horse is Attila? Because that is a very, very nice horse. And actually,
it's not safe here.
A better horse than Pebbles. Very rare. Not many horses are better than Pebbles. Well, you know what? Let's just use up this time until it is time for the quest, which Port of von Berghoff in the morning. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go pray first. It's always a good idea. Good way to start the day, huh? Unironically, a great way to start the day.
It happens! Just watch where you're going next time.
Righto, sorry. Excuse me? Yep, up we go, up we go. This is this right? Yeah. I think this is the way up to the chapel, isn't it?
Be careful. It's not safe here.
Here's his various knights, where they like to hang out. Am I not supposed to go up to the chapel?
Much as by your leave.
Huh? Sorry,
Next time,
didn't realize.
Don't come in here without
Oh, it's
permission.
just you, eh?
Oh, that's why. That's the chapel over there on the other side of the castle. I always do this. I do this every time. Alright.
Careful.
Sorry. Oh. Locked. That's not the right way. Okay. Let's try and go through it this way, huh? Yeah. Yeah, okay, here we go. Now I am to report to von Berghoff. So I guess I still have the prayer perk, so I might as well go and do that. Hello, Father. Let's at least talk to him first, yeah?
Greetings. What would you like?
I'd like to learn something.
What are you interested in?
Oh,
I'd like to hear something interesting.
nice way to
Fine,
put it.
but it'll take some time.
Oh no, I'm not gonna fail the quest, am I? Shoot. No, okay, we're good. Just need to go upstairs, wherever the stairs are. You're here, I suppose. Oh, they just phase through each other. Nice. Alright, he's, yeah, right through here. No? Maybe not.
What are you gazing at, Misa? Who do you think? Don't you have any work to do? I just stopped.
Alright, Sir Hans, would you like to come and talk too? I don't know where he is. I assume he's going to join in, but we'll see.
We're back from Semine, sir.
About time, too. I want to hear Lord Capon's report. We will wait for him.
Okay,
Sir,
good.
with regard to Semine,
I hope you bear some good news, Lord of Perkstein.
Well, unfortunately not, sir. Things went wrong. And old Semine and his people attacked us.
What? And where is Burgrave Hashek?
Hashek is dead.
Dead? How? And what of his men?
It grieves me, sir. But none of them survived.
How did it happen?
Stupid little reactions.
Speak.
It turns out Alder was working
Oh,
with
there's
the bandits.
stupid little reactions, man.
He even left his own wedding to help them ambush you.
That rat.
Lord Semine didn't want to turn over his son, so a battle broke out. Hashek and his men fought
let him handle
valiantly, I must say.
And what happened then? It sounds like the Semin folk stood no chance.
At first not, sir. It was all over soon. So then we searched the fortress and found Alder wounded.
Hold on. Sorry, my computer might be doing something weird. No, never mind. I think it is bugs outside. I'm assuming cicadas.
We
Just
wanted
let
to
Capon
arrest him,
take care of this, huh?
but he fought like a wounded animal. He didn't survive.
I still don't understand what happened with Hashek and my men.
Well, up till then, everything went smoothly, if you could say that. Hashek ordered the fortress to be torched as a warning to others. But then, the rest of the Semine garrison suddenly pounced on us out of nowhere, and a terrible massacre started. Hashek. Never in my life have I seen anyone fight like that. He must have caught 10 arrows covering the retreat. But to no avail. In the end, the fortress was in flames, and only the two of us made it out alive.
I hope the flames could be seen all the way to Nebakov. Those bastards will soon meet the same fate.
Not my place. It is not Henry's place to interrupt Hans' brilliant storytelling here. No.
That will be all for now. I will speak with the Chamberlain about the steps we shall take against Nebakov. I will announce my plan to all my vassals and allies at the evening feast. I will be expecting you both.
Certainly, sir. Come for me in the evening, so we can go there together.
You're approaching a crucial point. Watch out, you're approaching a key point in the story. Once you talk to Capon, free access to the world will be restricted for a while. All side quests except Demons of Trotsky can be completed later. Okay, well I already finished that one. And I have, I believe, no other side quests. I don't even think there are any more side quests for me to do. There's a quest tipster in Takhov, but a point of interest tipster in Takhov, but I already have completed everything I can think of. I mean, I guess there's these the fighting quests, but those are just repeatables. Vidlak. I already did the whole talking to Vastatek. I think I've done all the side quests. I think I'm good. I think I am ready to move on. I'm reasonably certain I'm ready to move on. Where am I? I should have a bit. Capon. Hans, where are you going? Susan. Okay, fine. Just go around you this way. Okay, cool. I should have a nice little snacky.
You shouldn't be out here alone like this.
I should have a nice bit of bedtime. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sleep and save for like an hour. And have a bite to eat. Then I'm going to go talk to Hans. And then we're good. We're moving on. It is plot time, I believe. Well, hold on. I'm also going to first make sure that I have as much honey as humanly possible. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go everywhere I possibly can where I know there were beehives. And I'm going to collect as much honey as my horse can carry. Because I vaguely know what's coming. At least I think I do. I might not. I might be way off. But I know there is a... what I'm alluding to is I know that there is a drawn-out siege at some point. Meaning that we're going to need an excessive amount of food.
Christ, wound! Watch out for that horse.
Christ wounds. Again, a great exclamation. Where are some beehives? There are none right here. I know there are some... Are they marked? They're not marked on the map, are they? Shoot. What's this? Yeah, let's go to Takoff, because I know there's some in Takoff, at least I think. I don't know if they're fully intact, if they're actual real beehives, or if they're just sort of there. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. Gabriel is not having a good evening. I tell you, poor little guy. I have to assume it's in large part. Oh man, they're not real beehives. I have to assume that it's in large part due to the teething. The poor little man back there is Gabriel, our youngest. He's almost one. He'll be one later this month, which man, which is crazy, by the way. But that aside, I assume that it's largely due to teething. Because he has been having a lot of trouble sleeping lately. Poor little guy. I see. He's being a menace. Okay, so never mind. See, here I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, and Erica comes in to clarify. No, it's his fault. Little guy is just being a menace. Just demands to be held, and then when you do hold him, he causes trouble, knocking everything off of your desk, and if you don't hold him, then he gets offended. So yeah, he's a bit of a little butthead, I guess, sometimes. Never mind. I mean, I still think it may be in large part because of the teething, but that is not exclusive, not mutually exclusive with him being a menace.
God be with you. You must be parched. What say you have a drink with us?
God be with you.
Nah. Are there not beehives right here? I thought there were beehives right over here somewhere. There is a shrine, though, so I guess I'll do some praying.
The angel of the Lord declared unto Mary, and she conceived of the Holy Spirit. Hail Mary. Mary said, Behold the handmaid of the Lord. Be it done unto me according to thy word. Hail Mary. And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us. Hail Mary. Pray for us, O Holy Mother of God, that we may be made worthy of the promises of Christ. Let us pray.
Who was it?
Pour forth, we beseech thee, O Lord, thy grace into our hearts, that we to whom the incarnation of Christ thy Son was made known by the message of an angel, may by his passion and cross be brought to the glory of his resurrection, through the same Christ our Lord. Amen.
No. Wait. Pebbles? Get back here. Excuse me. Where are you running off to? I do want to go see the burnt out husk of Samine real quick. Also, because I do know that there are some... there's beehives near them. Like... Now I don't remember. Oh, no, the beehives are down here past Jelioff. Jesus. I don't know. I want to at least go see the burnt out husk of Samine.
Go!
Which is a real shame, but what are you gonna do, you know?
Quick!
Jesus Christ, such misfortune. And for what?
And the crows and everything. And I don't think you can go in at all. Unless...
Oh, I can't go any further. It's too deep.
I'm just gonna hazard a wild guess and say that I'm probably not welcome in the town of Samine any longer. Once again, could be wrong. Oh man, but yeah, no, everything's abandoned and locked up tight, it would seem. Both major ways in are blocked off.
I can't swim.
You kind of did though, Henry. I know it was a bit of an emergency, but you kind of did. You did swim. Just as a reminder, I don't know if you forgot that instance. Oh, jeez, the cat is stuck in here now. Angel, what's your deal? Maybe I'll get you out in a bit. Actually, hold on. I really should check my reputation in Samine. How is my reputation in Samine still positive? That's completely ridiculous. I'll say as well, I really expected the wedding to be out in this area. Because this whole area is kind of set up to be a... it looks like almost like a festival field kind of thing.
You have a fine damn it.
There's, yeah, look at this. There's still, like, guards and everything. But loyal to whom is a really legitimate, interesting, odd question. There's a bunch of beehives. Yeah, Caravaggio, sure, go ahead. I'm always willing to chat about stuff, even if it's not, you know, strictly game related. You know, no problem. What you got in mind? I will add as well, this is not exactly class, so I'm not as reticent to share. Oh wait, no, not drop. Move 50 of them to the horse. There we go. I'm not nearly as reticent now on livestream as I would be in class to just, you know, commentate and talk about, give things from my own personal perspective. In class, I do tend to avoid that sort of thing, as it so happens, because that's the, you know, the most pedagogically sound thing to do is to not really bring up my own views, and instead to sort of lead students into their own discoveries, that sort of thing, right? That said, on live streams or hell, even in like office hours, I have no problem expressing and explaining my own views on whatever topic. And hey, look, worst case scenario, if it's a topic I genuinely don't want to discuss for whatever reason, which is extremely rare, I can't think of any offhand. If it is something I genuinely do not want to talk about on stream for whatever reason, I can say, hey, I'd rather not talk about that on stream, which is unlikely. Like I said, I don't see that happening. Just fun. All right, yeah, let's go back to Trotsky. It's already afternoon, so. Hey Grace, how you doing? Good to see you. Any of my foods gonna expire? No, everything is just dandy. Alright, I need something that's gonna fill me up, but not too much. Dried salami, that's perfect. A lot of salami. Yummy. Okay, let's sleep for an hour or however long it'll take to restore our energy, and then we'll advance the plot. And I think this actually might bring us to Kuttenberg, if I'm not mistaken. Which I'm thrilled by. I'm honestly, when we do get to the second map, basically, because unlike the first game, this game has two separate maps. There is this region, the Trotsky region, and then there's the Kuttenberg region, which is substantially larger even, and it has a big city, a genuinely large medieval city, that being Kuttenberg. And I really just want to spend some time looking around the city, because that's really neat. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Caravaggio, that's a really broad question. Yes. What's your general overview of the geopolitical situation? Seems like things are getting a little heated. Not any more than they were a year or so ago, I don't think. I would say that things are, broadly speaking, less heated than they were a year or so ago. A year, maybe two. Oh, I mean, what do you, I mean, if you want to say something specific, you can. If you want to ask about something specific. Oh, I could get a bath. Neat. Where's Hans? Why is he down? Where is he? Oh, he's outside. He's hanging out over here. That's right.
I'm
Okay.
in no mood for nonsense. So no messing about. Got it?
I'm just passing through. Keep up the good work, Master Guard.
I'll do what I can. We need it now more than ever.
All right, so we're going to a banquet, right? Tonight to discuss matters. That means, first of all, I should be looking nice. Second of all, though, I should probably wear my nice clothes. I would say, though, broadly, right, that I need to equip my dagger, don't I? I got my weapons good. That's all set, except for the dagger. There. That's important. There. Okay, I think we're good. Here. As for, say, the situation with between Russia and Ukraine and the chances of us being sort of pulled into it, I think that we had a much greater chance of being genuinely drawn into the conflict a year or two ago. At this stage...
Another day almost behind us, eh, Henry?
Good evening.
At this stage, worst case scenario for Russia-Ukraine is that the conflict keeps happening and people keep dying, which is not good, but it could be so much worse for everybody, them and us. I don't see us getting drawn directly into the conflict at this point. I don't think. As for Israel-Palestine, there is a real chance that we could get drawn into that, especially through the proxy of Iran. There's a really good chance that we could get enticed to invade Iran, but I'm hoping that it looks like there is a sort of political rift developing between Trump and Netanyahu. And if that is the case, that does look like it means that worst case scenario there is that Israel invades Iran. And we might get drawn into it that way, but that's worst case scenario. And it does not seem likely.
Do you know when von Bergov plans to attack Nebakov?
I'm not a soothsayer. I don't know any more than you, Henry.
How's that? Does that answer enough
I reckon
of the
he'll
question?
announce his plan to his vassals at the banquet.
What can we do in the meantime?
Wait? What else? Try to amuse ourselves? You can manage that by yourself, can't you? Come and pick me up this evening before the banquet.
Okay, hold on. Give me a minute. Give me just a moment. I need to get rid of this cat. Hey! Oh, don't you yell at me. Scream in the cat. It's screaming in the microphone. You may go. Be gone. Be gone. Fuzzy animal. Okay. Okay, I'm back. As you heard. I left it unmuted just in case the cat wanted to talk, and it looks like she did. So there you go. There she goes. Alright. Anyway. So wait, why I just talked to Hans. I talked to Hans. Why is it not doing the quest? I'm to stop by Capon this evening. Hang on. Hans! Can we... No, whatever. Just wait. It's evening. It's like, it's... Alright, I'm just gonna follow him. This is silly.
Keep close to the others.
What, hon? Is she bothering you now? Is she in there screaming at you?
Good doggy.
In here, she had a hair tie, and so was playing around with that. And then after the hair tie, she was like messing around with papers and stuff behind me, which might be important things. I don't know.
You've come just at the right time.
Excellent.
It looks like we'll eat and drink our fill before going into battle, eh?
It'll be mostly a lot of pointless small talk, if you ask me.
You're not looking forward to the feast?
I'm fed up with this waiting. I'd rather set out right now and wring the fuckers' necks one by one. And above all,
then.
I want to put that lying fraud from Nabokov in irons.
That makes two of us. We'll get him. Don't worry. I'm sure von Bergov has good reasons for caution.
I hope
Thought
so.
who tried desperately to seduce poor Henry.
Mood.
Are you surprised? After what happened at Samin?
All that happened is that we prevented the worst possible outcome.
I'm not so sure about that. Young Samin deserved punishment, no doubt. He was in cahoots with the bandits and betrayed his lord. He defiled his honor. And if it comes out that we helped him escape, it's my neck that's on the chopping block. And yours.
The Older may have been a traitor. But what about his father, Agnes, Captain Gnarly, and the other innocent people in the fortress?
They're all Lord von Bergov subjects. And they were covering for a traitor.
Well, maybe.
Not exactly.
But still. Were we supposed to just watch while Hashek's soldiers cut their throats?
You'd better hope our compassion won't be the death of us.
But nobody knows about us, and nobody's going to look for the Semines. But that's enough of that. We don't want anyone overhearing us. Let's go to the feast, all right?
You're right. Let's go, before all that's left is a pile of bones and empty pitchers.
That is not what that instrument looks like. Again, we have a... See, what we have here is what should be a duet between a flute, or perhaps a recorder,
Lord
and a
Capon
shawm.
and his
That's a
page.
shawm.
At last.
There's only that is only one instrument.
Good evening, friends. Join us, please, and sample what our kitchen has to offer. Wench, pour Lord Capon some wine.
We have excellent Hungarian wine, sir.
Thank you. I won't say no. I'll be glad to drink to our upcoming victory over that rabble from Nabokov, and perhaps to an alliance against other such saboteurs throughout the Kingdom of Bohemia.
Well said. Just what I like to hear. What do you say to that, Ulrich?
It is certainly gratifying to hear a young lord expressing such concern for our country's fate.
True. It is admirable that you are determined not to betray your Uncle Hanush's trust. Our agreement stands, of course. But I'd like to remind all of you here that politics is mainly about making the right compromises, not hasty decisions.
We have the same interests, Sarotto. We'll be happy to help you deal with those criminals at Nebokov. And let's hope that our cooperation doesn't end there. You know better than anyone how many similar bands plague our kingdom.
Well said. It seems Hanush and Rezig have an eye for capable and eloquent servants. As soon as we are finished with that
Fair enough, I guess.
I shall write a reply to your letter. But now to the business at hand, my friends. We discussed this long and hard, but we came to the conclusion that the best thing would be to catch them by surprise. And for that reason, we will set out for Nebakov at the crack of dawn tomorrow.
And we will string up the insolent bastard who commands the bandits from the nearest tree.
More wine, Lord Chamberlain?
No, thank you. The Lord Chamberlain needs a clear head. He will lead the assault on the fortress.
What?
What?
Oh.
Sorry, sir.
Okay.
But did you say we'll be under Ulrich's command?
Who else? My captain is injured, and I am expecting an important visit. Unfortunate.
Aha. And may I know what the Lord Chamberlain's plan is?
Of course you may. It's nothing complicated.
Does he have any
We'll pass
battlefield
through
experience?
the Toski Gorge
He doesn't
early
seem
in the
the type.
morning and reach the fortress unobserved. A quick charge will get us over the palisade and we'll catch that rabble by surprise. They won't know what hit them. Ha ha!
She is up to
I'm
something.
sorry, sir. But isn't that kind of frontal assault needlessly risky?
Risky? Peasants with pitchforks could handle that rabble. Have no fear, Lord Capon.
Oh boy.
Well, that wouldn't be my plan.
Sorry, sir, but I think my lord here has more experience of soldiering than your chamberlain. He fought with valor during the conquest of Pribyslavitz and the siege of Talmberg, and I think he'd be more useful.
I have no doubt Lord Capon is very experienced for someone his age. But
I mean,
I'd rather entrust
can't
my
quite argue
forces
with
to
that.
someone more mature.
Fine.
You're
but-
not offended, I hope. Ulrich.
Oh, perish the thought, sir.
It's thanks to the Lord Chamberlain that this castle is standing. I have
Okay,
complete faith in his abilities.
My
Okay.
friend, send your servant to the smithy for armor and to see
Catherine, sir.
Catherine for wine for the journey. We'll move out as soon as the sun rises.
Catherine's up to something.
Be so kind and get me another pitcher of the Hungarian wine, will you?
As you wish. Just a moment, Lord Chamberlain.
Did he just countermand?
I promise, sir,
His lord?
that this will be my last wine
Okay,
today.
okay.
The next wine I drink will be to celebrate our victory. Ha ha ha!
Your health, then, gentlemen.
Okay.
Eat, drink, and be
Cheers.
merry. But don't overdo it. Tomorrow, I expect you to display your knightly valor for our rightful and joint cause.
Anything else, lad?
I'd like to speak to Sir Otto.
Certainly. What is it, then?
Would I be right in assuming nobody else knows about the content of our message yet?
Correct. And that is how it will stay, until I decide on my reply to Hanush.
That's a good idea.
What about the League of Lords? Do you think you'll convince the other nobles as well?
Careful now, young man.
The war hurts everyone without exception. And that is why it has to stop. Everyone agrees on that. Each one of us has to consider what he can do for peace in the land. You can show what you can do tomorrow, when we settle scores with those bandits.
We'll make short work of them.
I'll try not to let you down, sir.
Certainly. We will talk tomorrow when it's over. I do not let capable men go unrewarded, Henry.
Yeah, see...
Come here.
What's the discussion about, gentlemen?
We're just talking about the ambush on Lord von Bergoff's men.
Apparently, it was the same man who attacked your company by the pond.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's the same band of troublemakers.
Who got the better of you twice, eh?
Zweimal?
That's right. They say that at Nabokov, Lord Capon parleyed with someone pretending to be old Nabok. But in fact, it was none other than the leader of those disgraceful scoundrels.
Dann ist es ja kein Wunder that puffed up Capon won't talk to us. He's afraid we'll make fun of him.
I mean, I'm going to defend Capon. First, yeah, that is an interesting insight about the fact that the conflict is only deleterious to basically everyone involved. I would add, though, the exception of Sigismund. He's benefiting from this conflict continuing to go on, because I don't think he could otherwise consolidate power, because he's very clearly a usurper. Right? He relies upon his nobles' fear of each other for him to be a sort of uniting factor, at least for some of them, which is far better than them being united and either turning against him or at best ignoring him. And so I do think that it really is a kind of the fault of those higher up the feudal chain, if you will. That said, I think that this is. I mean, we were just talking about real world, not real world. This is real world, but modern geopolitics. Just talking about the Russia-Ukraine situation, especially, I think that peace, and this is. I'll give Donald Trump credit for this. Some credit he deserves, but not as much as maybe he'd like. But that the goal being peace should be how any negotiations for conflict like this or like the Russia-Ukraine situation, that should be the goal, right? Making peace. That should realistically be the goal of any kind of negotiation to end war. The insistence on, especially the insistence on unconditional surrender, but then realistically, any particularly strong surrender conditions or peace conditions, if it is in fact a barrier to peace, the insistence on those if it's a barrier to peace, but it is not a contributing factor to peace, right? Because there is a distinction to be made there, right? You could say, require disarmament, say, in order to prevent the conflict breaking out further. You could require a demilitarized zone or something like that to prevent the conflict from re-emerging. Maybe that's a reasonable condition to peace, but just concessions that are purely for the sake of one side beating the other. Hold on, I gotta mute Discord. It's badooping. I'm assuming you're all hearing the badooping too. Uh-oh. Where's my streaming mode? Enabled. There we go. Better. All right. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, I think that that conditions being imposed unnecessarily essentially contradict just war theory, right? That a war continued that could have been ended even by unfavorable conditions or maybe neutral conditions, or maybe more concessions than you'd like. I think that's absolutely an unjust continuation of war. A great example of this is the ending of the World War II, particularly the conflict between the U.S. and Japan. Right? Japan offered a conditional surrender. Specifically, it put off the table the deposition of the emperor, and I believe complete demilitarization. I think that they would have required. I think they had a solid requirement for maintaining some military force, right? Which then the U.S. refused those conditions and instead blew up they nuked 2 civilian targets, which is that's a war crime, and not just because it targeted civilians, which that alone is bad enough, but because it was the refusal of a good faith offer of surrender. Right? That is essentially attacking a target that has at least attempted to surrender in good faith. That's extremely nasty. So, and now we also have this similar issues with the Israel-Palestine conflict, where there have been peace arrangements and talks and deals and ceasefires and all sorts of things, almost every one of which has been either shot down or just literally broken by Israel. Those are war crimes. It's attacking a surrendered foe, or it's preventing good faith peace negotiations, which again, Israel has been doing both militarily and politically for basically the duration of this conflict, of this particular conflict, since October 7th, 23, right? Not to mention, of course, that they have been undermining the peace process for 50 some odd years. So there's that too.
I'm sorry, sir, but Lord Capon did nothing wrong. It wasn't his fault.
Watch your tongue. You don't want Henry to take offense and fly off the handle again?
Ja, du hast recht. I went too far. If I've offended you, Henry, we can settle scores. I'm at your service. But if you'd rather try your luck, we can have a game of dice. That strikes me as a better option than going at each other with swords. Viva
Okay.
us. Do you play dice, friend?
Sure, why not?
I understand. Let's play then. But I'm warning you, you'll lose your shirt.
We'll see about that, Bursche. I give no quarter.
All right, let's give this a try. Let's see how this goes. Are we playing with badges? Let's just go all the way to dice, and let's go with, what are these? Cancel the effect of your opponent's silver badge. Ooh. Let's just go to defense badge. That's fine.
Auf geht's. I'm very curious about you.
This is Solom's business after all, isn't it?
I heard that the university is quarreling about some Englishman's books.
Not just any Englishman. A heretic. Wycliffe is a heretic. No doubt about it.
Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, I'm not going to roll again for a 4.
So it seems that even our learned scholars...
1100 is good. It's a good first round.
Gets lucky sometimes.
It's a good first round. Okay, so Sigismund is the... Okay, so Sigismund and Wenceslas are cousins. Wenceslas was the sort of rightful heir of... I forget the previous king's name. But Sigismund was essentially either second or third in line.
Like you don't even
Oh,
want
God.
to play. Last time I was watching, a farmer lost his breeches and his boots here.
Okay, I win.
That was a good game, friends.
Improved
Gosh.
image.
Every game is good when you fatten your purse.
Lady Fortune gives and takes by turns. A few groschen, one way or the other, won't ruin me.
But But you're still in debt to me, though.
Well, that's true. I apologize for what I said. I wasn't being serious.
See, that's nice.
No offense, friend. I just wanted a bit of fun.
Okay, none taken. None taken. Anyway.
Hey, blacksmith's boy. What are you doing there? Get over here. Come on, Henry. You can have a drink afterwards.
Okay.
What's
Hold
the problem?
on. I'll talk about
What do you
Sigismund.
think? I don't have time for nonsense.
I thought a good old feast would cheer you up.
You call this a good feast? Nothing but puffed up peacocks sucking up to each other, pretending they don't smell of dung.
Ooh,
And the chamberlain.
keep your voice down.
My God. I can't take another moment of that.
Lord Hounds. I mean, he is a fool, but we'll come back to this. So the political situation right now is that King Wenceslas was deposed and captured and imprisoned by his cousin Sigismund, who was, I believe, king or prince or whatever of Hungary. Basically, he got a different part and parcel of essentially of the Holy Roman Empire. And so he took the throne from King Wenceslas. And so Sigismund is I believe he commands the loyalty of more of the slight narrow majority of the nobility, but there is essentially a near constant civil war going, which is causing all kinds of problems for basically everybody, and it's giving an opportunity for criminals and even like roving bands of bandits to kill everybody, and steal things, and create their own little fiefdoms, unofficial, of course. Grace, as in Good King Wenceslas, I don't believe so. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the hymn is about Wenceslas the First. This is Wenceslas the Second, who is, I think, is like great-grandson or something. But I also made that connection throughout the first game. It sounded, I mean, it's a good connection to make. I believe the hymn is about King Wenceslas the First, who I think is canonized. I think he's Saint Wenceslas. At least I think so. He was a Holy Roman Emperor, and apparently a quite rather good one. So,
Sod the Chamberlain. He's a conceited idiot.
And how many battles has he won, eh?
That's a good
You
question.
heard Lord von Burgov. He trusts him.
Ulrich is a master of the quill, that's all. By the way, thanks for standing up for me.
You're welcome. I definitely trust you more in battle than him.
When push comes to shove, I won't be paying much heed to that buffoon's orders.
Well, that's dangerous.
I get that. But you gave von Burgov your word as a knight that you'd help him. That band of cutthroats killed our men as well. And we don't have a chance against them on our own.
Oh, maybe. You know what? I've had enough. I'm going to bed. But don't you forget to stop by the smithy for my sword and armor. And fetch some wine from Catherine. If you want my advice, try not to get too shit-faced. We've got a battle to fight tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd rather not fight a battle.
Don't worry.
Hungover.
I'll take care of it.
All right. Good night then, Henry.
I've heard a lot about you, youngster. You're like a mythical hero. You just need someone to write your story.
You have a poet among us, eh?
Me, a poet. I leave that sort of thing to Florian there. Women swoon in his arms, and then men swoon in exasperation. There's a poetic soul for you. If only his verses.
See, that was quite poetic. I thought that was good.
Seems Florian makes your blood boil, eh?
Aye, he's too big for his boots. He needs to be taught a lesson. But I'll pay him back for his jokes soon enough.
He's got a rain guard on the sword. Pretty cool.
Tell me more.
Uncommon
help you.
in this game, it
Excellent.
seems. But
I need to
I know
get
common in the
Florian
period.
back for one of his jokes. It should hurt him a little.
What did he do to you?
He persuaded a certain damsel to let him dress up in her clothes. When I sang beneath her window one evening, they all thought it was hilarious. and that twit threw lilacs down to me from the window.
How awful. How do you want to get your revenge? Challenge him to a duel?
Nothing of the sort, no violence. We'll just make fun of him a little. I know that one damsel gave him a ring, and it'd be interesting to slip the ring to her best friend.
Now that sounds like a pretty cruel joke. But I'll be happy to help. Where can I find the ring?
He's bound to have it in the chest next to his bed at the very top of Crone Tower.
Oh, jeez.
Ah, now I see why you don't fancy going there.
Well, the most important thing is that everyone sees I'm here, but nobody will notice if you leave. All you have to do is bring it to me unobserved. I'll take care of the rest.
Okay. Sure, why not? I'm sorry, what?
Shall we have a chat, bonny lad?
This is Henry, Lord Capon's servant.
Can I help you, my lady?
This is Johanka of Zhernov, Henry.
Pleased to meet you.
Another Johanka.
I know who you are. My
Hi, Wild
companions
World.
have talked about you. And the stories were somewhat madcap, if you don't mind me saying so.
Nothing more than a couple of silly misunderstandings.
The pond, the stocks, and the gallows. Quite a nice series of misunderstandings, if you ask me.
Your life was on the line more than once, young man.
You're right, Father. And not just my life, Lord Capon's as well.
Well, that sounds interesting. Won't you tell me about it? I'd love to hear about adventures right from their hero himself.
I hope this doesn't turn in a negative direction again.
I'll be glad to tell you my story. Where to begin?
The best place to begin is at the beginning, isn't it?
You're right, of course. That would be best.
Yeah, here we go.
Our friend Margrave Yost would like to end this absurd war. That's why he sent us here to Trotsky. It's a long way from our home in Ratai. So we made camp by a pond to bathe a bit before presenting ourselves to the local lord. We didn't have time for that, because a band of cutthroats suddenly attacked us. They killed without mercy, and our men had no chance against them. We had no choice but to jump into the water and swim for our lives. I still don't know how I didn't drown. I can't swim, you see.
Truly divine intervention, my son. God clearly wanted you to be saved.
Truly shocking and terrifying. Tell me, what awful thing happened next?
Let's
I was a bloodbath, my lady. Then they followed us into the rocks and chased us through that labyrinth like rabbits. I thought we were done for. There's no way out. Nothing around but rocks and pitch black night.
I see your lives really were in danger.
Yes, just so.
You are truly brave.
We were saved by a good-hearted old woman. Later, we got involved in a tavern brawl. Well, the brawl was started by my Lord Cape.
Of course it was.
Manual labor would have been too humiliating for him, you see. Even more humiliating than having the local guards pour, slops over us, it would seem.
No, that is truly awful.
But it's true. Everyone thought we were stinking vagabonds, which led to a whole misunderstanding.
Bailiff Thrush put them in the stocks.
Yeah, like I said, they took us for ragamuffins.
Fair enough. But out with it now. Why did they punish you?
I admit the bailiff was right to punish us. But we would have won the brawl otherwise, my lady.
Excellent. I think people are wrong about you. You're a sincere and brave young man, Henry.
And rather entertaining company.
Yes, I agree. It's a pity my good friend didn't hear your story. She would have been
don't start.
very
Don't start.
interested.
Who do you mean, my lady?
Unfortunately, she just went outside to get some fresh air. But the easiest way to put that right would be to go and find her. Would you escort me, Sir Knight?
No, not doing this.
I'm sorry. Maybe a little later, my lady.
A pity, Sir Knight. It's a little stuffy in here, and I could do with a short walk.
You stop that. You stop that right now. Not another one. I already had this experience last week. Reputation loyalist. Okay,
But what about Florian?
the top of the Crone Tower, right? Right. Get a good night's sleep, feast and enjoy, get the armor optional. Really? Bring Florian's ring. Okay, top of Crone Tower, which is G. Oh, come on. There we go, that's better. Ooh, all the way up there. Alright, let's do it. Why not? Go to our sneaky outfit.
Oh well.
Through here, right? Here we go. Good. Where's the... Ooh. What's this? Heavy weapon combat. Rule of St. Benedict II. Nice, but... Florian's letter from it... Okay. Let's read them. Florian's
Here
ring.
it is. Florian's ring.
Okay. Let's read the books right quick. When you pick a rose, take care that this bold action that you dare does not bring a wound to bear. Okay, shut up. I don't care. Unfinished letter. Behold the dance, the body's joy, passionate and glittering. What the... Okay. Go away. You see him, Simp. You are, of course, welcome. I'm gonna put these back. Uh-oh. Did I just hear someone? I really hope I didn't just hear someone. That was a very close call.
Hey, you're not allowed here.
Okay, sorry. I'm leaving.
Out now.
I'm leaving.
Where did it come? The hell are you? Hey.
See, it's nice because I have left now. That didn't count as me getting caught. Ah, so you'll be late until mid-August, which is fine. You're allowed to be late. See, here's the thing. This is not actually class, and I don't actually take attendance for live streams. So you can be late. I mean, for that matter, I don't actually take attendance for class either. But I do request that my students show up on time. That is something I do. But it's only really a request. I don't really enforce anything like attendance in my classes. I have, though, honestly, I've thought about changing that. I've really thought about changing that. But I don't know. Maybe I will. You need a break from Greek grammar. Understandable. That is the kind of thing which, you might need a break from.
Here's Florian's ring. What next?
Excellent, my friend. Now we'll plant it on that damsel to Florian's right. The young one who never stops blabbering on.
How?
Right. Leave it to me. I'll finish the job.
I'd be delighted to, my friend. That scoundrel deserves it. He'll be the butt of the joke for a change. So no mercy, and joking aside,
You're also doing final grades, subbing, plus taking classes, exhausting work full time. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Oh, gosh, excuse me. Okay. Ah, yes, next week, summer break. How am I going to do that? How am I going to plant this on someone? And not be seen?
How do you like the company here? Is this your idea of fun? You're criminally sober.
Oh, no, I shouldn't have.
Of course. And I'm not the only one. Whoever saw what you got up to beneath the gallows won't forget your name in a hurry.
Oh, I see.
I may have missed the start, but I have to say, the end was thrilling.
And who are you, if I may ask?
This is the guy I've
Bartosz
fought with,
from Prague,
right?
Sir Otto's personal bodyguard.
What was von Berghoff doing in Prague?
He's the royal chamberlain, so he's in charge of collecting taxes from royal towns and monasteries. And he was negotiating with the League of Lords as well, of course.
What? He promised he'd support the proposal of Hannes of Lipa.
Maybe, but he can hardly call off negotiations with Rosenberg and the other powerful lords.
I mean, that is perfectly reasonable.
Politics isn't blind man's buff. Besides, you only gave him the message after he came back from Prague, didn't you?
Yeah, that is true.
Do you know what the negotiations in Prague were about?
No, because I'm not a spy.
Personal bodyguards often hear all kinds of things, don't they?
Well, Hohenstein and Riesenberg are quarreling over some nonsense in Saxony. Lichtenberg is trying to play both sides, and the mighty Rosenberg is scheming against everyone. Aye, and Bocek of Kunstadt is looking for a husband for his niece, Yitka. She's pretty, so it won't take long.
I thought the League of Lords was supposed to be united.
What? Then? No chance. Having too many roosters in the yard always ends badly.
Yeah, that is, All right.
Excuse me for a moment.
Enjoy yourself. A pitcher of wine makes a good day better still. But too many pitchers will leave you feeling ill.
That reminds me of a nice story about a nunnery.
I do, by the way.
You must be Henry, yes? Lord Capon's servant.
I do sort of used to speak Spanish.
Nice to meet you.
So I know some.
Who do I have the honor of talking to, gentlemen? Seems you already know my name.
Coasting to good health
we
and
heard
blessings.
something about you.
Aye. Yeah, that is a good
Mainly
thought.
about
Because
your
it is
brushes
in
with the law.
most romance languages.
Truly amusing escapades, if what they say is true.
Well, we had a couple of misfortunes, but I don't know what you heard.
Only that the village yokels took you for
Salute.
beggars and clapped you in the stocks.
Well, after you'd beaten up a couple of them, including the local bailiff's son.
Well,
We
as
did
I
do
said,
that,
we had a couple of misfortunes.
Of course, no offense intended. We're glad to meet you.
My name is Olbrand, and this is Yeshek of Bor.
What about tomorrow? Will you join us in the attack?
Of course. I've brought so many men we could take the Barkov on our own.
I hope you'll leave room for us as well, Yeshek.
No fear. The main thing is that old Lord Nebag doesn't drop dead before we can save him.
Well, if we burn down his castle,
Hear, hear.
he's bound to have a fit.
That is actually a good point, that with a noble hostage, you
I think
don't
Sir
want to
Yaramir
try
will
and
be
starve them
pleased
out.
if we get rid of those scoundrels without needless damage.
They also have a damaged outer wall,
Old
which is quite
Yaramir
helpful.
was always terribly proud of that little castle of his. He toiled all his life to build it.
Ooh,
Yet it's
excuse
nothing
me.
more than a hut on a rock. All the better for us. We'll take the hood in a trice and then relieve Yaramir of a few barrels from his cellar.
I can't wait to see the look on his face when he finds out how much the rescue will cost him.
He'll be happy to give us the wine. Better to be alive and well than cold for eternity.
Man, I suppose.
Hosts a preacher called
Jan Hus. Yes, he and his ilk just sow confusion. And worse still, some people support him.
It's said that even King Wenceslas is well disposed towards.
Who am I supposed to be planting this on?
to hear her preaching.
Her? Yeah, play the trick with the ring.
I have a little gift for you.
Oh, how sweet. Tell me, who is it from?
One shy friend who was afraid you'd reject him.
Ooh, and what does he want from me?
To dedicate a few verses to your beauty. From his heart.
What? I know that ring. Florian.
What's going on? What are you doing, fool?
Fool? You know him. You wanted to cheat on me.
No, it's not.
Two-faced cheat swine.
Wait, I can
Why is this
explain.
working?
He must have stolen that ring from me.
What? Traitor! I never want to see you again.
What?
I've already sent to
How did that work? Alright, hold on. Let me check my perk points. None there. Vitality. However. Okay. Revenant. I'm gonna go with Thick-Blooded. That's a good one. I have a bunch of perk points, so I'm okay. Alright, Polished Wares, Battle Cry, Dreaded Warrior. So fear your enemy, morale will decrease, likely to give Hustler. Nah. Potion serves recipes, books, alchemy, nah. Polished Wares. Nah. That's actually really good. You just do more damage if you yell at people. Alright. I don't actually need drinking. Nah. Don't actually need any of those. Horsemanship might be good. Knight training. I don't need either of those. I don't actually fight on horseback really at all. Scholarship. Cushion. Fundamentals of Theology 2. Wait, don't I already have that? I thought I already had Fundamentals of Theology 2, but whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Imsim says, I have come to terms with that my professor knows little to nothing of Byzantine history or medieval Byzantine Greek. That is unfortunately typical. It's not what most Greek scholars focus on. Greek scholars that I know focus on earlier periods, primarily that being either classical Greek, so that being the period somewhere in between Homer and Aristotle, or Koine Greek, because they're New Testament scholars. That's really the two kinds of oh hell yeah, that's nice. That's really the two kinds of Greek scholars. Two prominent kinds of Greek scholars. There are exceptions to that, but they're relatively rare. Well, that's not bad. Escape artist. Let's go with that. That's pretty good. Lawbreaker? No. Mischief artist. No, inconspicuous. Sure. Why not? Let's go for it. And then pockets? Nah. I don't actually need more for swords. Probably never going to use heavy weapons. It's level 6. Not bad. Amsim says, apparently in antiquity, most things were carved in stone, with papyrus being rare. Whereas in the Middle Ages, you have monks copying manuscripts. So to speed up the process, they invented lowercase and cursive. Yeah, lowercase was invented around the time of Charlemagne, essentially by medieval monks. And then cursive sort of followed from that, or followed as part of that. Yeah. Why not?
Well, Florian is all done in. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Aha! Of course! You set him up nicely. I almost felt sorry for him.
No mercy, and joking aside. That's what you said, wasn't it?
Aye, he'll get over it. I owe you a reward. Here you are, my friend. And if you need help with anything, just say the word. I'll be with you.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I think my cursive is reasonably legible. Erica does not think so. So if you ask her, it is the opposite of that. She basically just can't read my cursive, unfortunately. Go into the kitchen for wine. Feast and enjoy the good life. How's my nourishment? I'll have something nice. That will
Hungarian, they say. So let's hope it won't do us any harm.
something nice that will not quite fill me up, not overfill me at least. I don't want to get overfull.
I'm sorry to his uncle.
Good.
But he didn't want to hear about it. So the
That was rude. What did I say? That was nice. Shouldn't have been like that.
Sigismund is like a fox in a hen house. But who let him in, eh?
Bread, there's chicken. There's no, like, mutton or anything. There's pretzels, there's bacon, there's cheese, there's pork. There's no beef. No beef whatsoever. No goat, no mutton either. Odd. Interesting. I'll have a bite. I'll have a bite of chicken. I think.
What does Prague have to say?
Prague is buzzing like
Oh, see, no, I can't have a chicken leg.
The burgers are growing.
That's some piglet.
Bloody
Will that do? That's good. Okay, now I need to go get the armor from Osina. I believe is downstairs. Let's do that. But yeah, I know it's actually the whole lowercase thing. So actually, hold on. That's interesting. So Imsim says the Byzantines inadvertently created the Holy Roman Empire. When the Lombards invaded Italy and the Pope asked for help, the Byzantines left the Pope to his own devices, so he turned to Pepin the Short. That is okay. Yeah, I think that is a fair enough description of events.
How can I help you, stranger?
So funny thing though about the whole invention of lowercase writing. Oh god, I forget exactly what the argument was, but it was about I think it was about the distinction between, quote, the church lowercase c versus the church uppercase c, and looking at what was meant by that, the distinction in the New Testament, because this was some like low church Protestant trying to argue that the church is simply the invisible union of all believers, that sort of thing, and did not in any way refer to the Catholic Church. And they were trying to make this point by saying that, well, no, what we're talking about is church, like lowercase c. You're talking about the church, like Catholic Church, with an uppercase c. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you? The Catholic Church invented capitalization. And there's like, what are you talking about? We've always used capitalization. And I'm just like, no, look it up. It's called Carolingian minuscule. It was invented in the time of Charlemagne, I believe even in the court of Charlemagne, by medieval Catholic monks for the purpose of copying manuscripts. Like, look it up. Capitalization was invented by the Catholic Church. That was one of the best. That was one of the best retorts I've probably ever had on a relatively cordial online discussion. Because I've insulted people, sure, fine, whatever. But that was a good one, as far as like cordial and like, academic rejoinders go, especially in a non-academic context. We also invented the scientific method, at least arguably, yeah. I think you can make an argument that it was a sort of post-Catholic invention, maybe. But that's if you push it back to the sort of early Enlightenment, and the Renaissance, I guess, but more like the early modern period. And you don't, and you're maybe a little bit more skeptical about the claims of orthodoxy on the part of a lot of those sort of early modernists. So there is that. I'm a little skeptical, but I generally am okay with saying that the scientific method was invented by the church. And I would actually push it further back. I would say that there is a very strong precursor to the scientific method as far back as Albertus Magnus in the early 13th century. So yeah, there you go. But that's if you're willing to make those concessions, if you're on one strong side of the historical question. Amsim says, I've been wondering more about Arab culture. It seems like they made many scientific breakthroughs, and at times were religiously tolerant, besides the jizya tax on non-Muslims, like Avicenna. Would you say Islamic culture flourished in spite of Islam rather than because of it? Yeah, I think so. Although there were times and places where Islam was better and it was worse, both philosophically, theologically, and politically. And I think that throughout the sort of High Middle Ages, even during the Crusades, Islam was not what it turned into later. Right? And it wasn't even what it was early on, like at the time of Muhammad. At the time of Muhammad, it was very, well, it was a lot more like it is today. It's rather anti-intellectual. It's insular. It is rather, I hate to say violent, but it accepts violence in a way that Christianity is more reticent to do. But throughout the Middle Ages, especially with their contact with the Byzantines, with Greek philosophy, Islam mellowed out a little, I think. Maybe you can say it that way. It became more intellectual. Then again, so did medieval Christendom. Like the whole myth of the Dark Ages is still absurd. Medieval Christendom was a flourishing period of intellectual advancement and technological advancement as well. My go-to book for this, what I always point to, is it's called Cathedral, Forge, and Water Wheel by, I think their names are Joseph and Francis Guise. I might have it right here. Yeah, right here. Hold on. Please stand by. Please stand by. Yeah, Francis and Joseph Guise. This book. Oh, God. This book, if you can see that. Oh, sorry. There we go. This is not working well. Here, I'll put it next to my face. There you go. Cathedral, Forge, and Water Wheel by Francis and Joseph Guise. I'll link to it in the description after the stream is over. At least to the Amazon page or whatever. I do highly recommend it if you're at all interested in sort of medieval Christendom, because it goes through a lot of the technological advances that people don't tend to think of throughout the Middle Ages. My two favorite examples of which are metallurgy. That medieval advancements in metallurgy are like sci-fi levels of rapid and incredible advancement. Like if you took a high medieval longsword, the thing Henry's got and that he made himself. If you took this guy, this loser, look at that face. If you took that longsword that he's carrying and you put that on a like Roman battlefield, even late Roman, that would basically be like a lightsaber. Because they used mild steel at most, and in more cases they used iron for a lot of late Roman equipment, especially armor. That thing could bend apart a lot of the plates of Lorca segmentata, or even Lorca Hamada. Is it Hamada, the chainmail version, which was very late Imperial? Even that, it would burst rings. Even the riveted rings, which are mild steel at most, a lot of them were just iron. Yeah, like the man, late medieval weapons and armor as well. Like there's nothing. Like you could shoot a Roman ballista at a late medieval, like early Renaissance breastplate, and it would do nothing. Lorca Hamada, that's what I thought. Thank you. But yeah, no, it's incredible, the advances in metallurgy, to the point where we can get incredibly hard carbon steels, both hard and tough, which is usually a trade-off. But the ability of late medieval metallurgists to create supple yet incredibly strong metals, both weapons and armor and tools and building materials and equipment and all kinds of things, is just amazing. Which really just puts the lie to the whole, yes, I carry my great-great-grandfather's sword into battle. No, you don't. That would be like someone today saying, like, they went to war with their great-great-great-grandfather's gun. Like, sure, yeah, of course you did. You went to war with your great-great-great-grandfather's musket. Shut up. No, you didn't. Like, the advance of technology throughout the Middle Ages is really nothing to laugh at. Oh yeah, Lorca Scamata, I tend to forget about the scale armor. Isn't Lorca Scamata, wasn't that more common in like the provinces or something? I remember that one being the kind of weird outlier. Oh, and of course Musculata is the like muscle cuirass, the solid metal cuirass. It was still bronze, right? Or did they actually upgrade it to iron or steel? The Lorca Musculata. I would assume it was still bronze because it's more easily shaped. My phone is going off. Sorry. They made some in iron. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, the other big example that the Geese point out in their book is roads. I mean, they use a bunch of examples, but my other favorite is roads. We all think of Roman roads as being this peak of technological sophistication and connectivity between places, where, yes, they were, but the Roman roads, you must remember, were built for two purposes: conveying messengers and transporting armies. They were not built for trade or travel. For those purposes, they suck. The reason for that is they're built for light infantry or horseborne messengers to move quickly from place to place, not for for carrying cargo or caravans or people who have a hard time traveling. Therefore, if, for example, a Roman road needs to go from this side of a mountain to the other side of a mountain, a Roman road will go over it. Whereas any other sensible road from anyone else in history will go around it. And so the Middle Ages were the period of the development of networks of roads that didn't just lead to Rome, that were more interconnected and were actually traversable by ordinary people for commercial purposes and military purposes, but more importantly for commercial purposes. It really interlinked much of Europe in a way that it hadn't been under the Roman Empire, because there everything was subservient to and then ultimately only united by Rome. They weren't linked to each other in the way that they were in the medieval period. And yes, Imp, you're right. They were good for the apostles to spread the gospel, but that's because they went straight to Rome. Well, not all of them, but enough of the apostles and their subsequent followers went to Rome and then spread out from there. And because they were, lone travelers or small groups of travelers of fit, healthy men. They were not in big caravans, and they were not trying to carry large amounts of goods or anything practical like that. So yeah, they were great for spreading the gospel, but they would not be so great for networks of trade or networks of travel. So that's what it is. It's the Middle Ages were a phenomenal period of development of all sorts of technologies.
I'm supposed to collect armor and a sword for my lord.
Armor?
Oh, but that horse is already bolted. I'm clean out.
What? You don't have anything?
Lots of other knights were here. You should have come earlier, that's all.
But Chamberlain Ulrich himself sent me here.
I'll be happy to give you what's left, but it ain't the best. I reckon you'll have to do the mending and sharpening yourself.
As you wish. But I'll go and tell the Chamberlain. You think he's going to get his fingers burnt because of you?
What? Ulrich is my friend.
And I have friends among the local nobles who the Chamberlain surely won't want to annoy.
All right. Maybe I was a bit hasty. I'll find you something better. I still have this left. Take it. It's yours.
See now? Where there's a will, there's a way. Sucker. If you want something done, you have to do it yourself.
Okay, fine. Let's polish up this armor. So jeez. Imsim asked, do any of the early church fathers ever refer to the sacrifice of the Mass as the Mass? And when did the word first appear? So I don't know when the word originated, but I know where the word originated from, or how it developed.
All right, go.
The word comes from the words of dismissal at the end of the Mass. Oh, yeah, okay, that's pathetic. Also pathetic. I have so much better armor than I'm giving Hans, but whatever, it's fine. But anyway, yeah, the words, the term Mass comes from the words of dismissal. The prayer of dismissal, I believe it is called, maybe. When we are sent forth to preach, to spread the good news. Misa means sending, to send forth. And so the Mass it's referred to the Mass by how it ends. Go, the Mass is ended. Exactly. Yes, I thought exactly the same thing as a kid, and I will say, Saoirse thinks exactly the same thing now, and I cannot disabuse her of this. Thank God it's finally over. I can get McDonald's now. Well, now, for us, it's, oh, thank God, I can go to Coffee and Donuts now. Now let's go downstairs to get wine. Is this where the stairs are? Yeah, good. I don't want to rob. Where can I just get the wine? Is it here? Oh, down here. Okay, cool. Funka. Yeta. Imsim says, whenever we stood up and the priest said, this sacrifice we offer, I thought the sacrifice was waking up at 8 a.m. on Sunday to be here, was our sacrifice for God. I mean, it is. It's not to a much lesser degree, but it is.
Where can I find the serving girl with the wine?
I don't know. Ask Manietta. She's the cook.
Well, okay then.
Greetings. Can't it wait till morning?
Excuse me, have you seen Catherine?
What do you want her for?
I'm supposed to get some wine from her for Lord Capon. I can't find her.
For that handsome young man? I'll go and get it, and you can forget about that ninny Catherine.
Well, the thing is, they told me...
Forget it. God knows where that cow's got to again. I ain't seen her all evening. But don't worry. I'll be happy to give you wine for Lord Capon myself. I'd just like to ask if you could open the spice chest for me in the meantime. The lock got stuck again and won't open for love nor money.
Sure, why not?
I'll take a look at it. It won't be a problem.
Thanks.
I mean, yeah, I can do that. That's easy enough.
Take care. Have a nice evening.
Right here? This one? It's this one, right? I'm not gonna get in trouble for lockpicking the wrong thing. There you go.
I've opened the spice chest for you.
Really? That's clever of you. I couldn't budge it. I won't bother looking it again from now on. If someone pinches something, I'll blame Osina and his rubbish locks. Here's some Hungarian wine for your journey. And give my regards to Lord Capon. May the Holy Virgin watch over you in battle.
Amen.
Farewell, sir.
Okay, that's it, right? I'm gonna go to sleep. It's bedtime. Hi, Mutt. I think I have done plenty for the night. Put on our armor for bed. You asked? Okay, so Imsip asked the priest for a blessing as I begin to learn Greek. He actually blessed me in Greek. Mind you, this is a Latin mass priest. It might be a little bi-ritual. Or just bilingual. That's an option too. Could be, you know. Let's see. Anything I need? Let's do piercing bolts. Because I'm going to be fighting people in armor if I'm going to be shooting anyone. Alright, let's go to sleep. Let's do this. The night before the battle is calm and quiet. For victory. Hey, Hans?
I've got your armor and wine for the journey.
Let's see what von Berghoff sent me then.
I'm gonna give that blacksmith Osiner a kick up the ass.
Yeah, that is really, really poor quality armor. That's unfortunate. Gibson says, what most people miss in the gospel is that when they wanted to stone the woman for adultery, and our Lord said, let he with that sin cast the first stone, a tiny pebble flew out of the crowd and hit the woman, and our Lord said, not now, Mom, I'm working here. Look, okay. There's a real serious point to be made there. That there was at least one person present who was in fact without sin. And he said, neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. Why wouldn't his mom say the same thing? There's a big lesson to be taken from this. And it's that just because you have a right to condemn someone does not mean that it's always the best thing. Right? So this applies to any kind of debt one incurs. Any debt can be forgiven, and it can be forgiven justly. It is no violation of justice for the one harmed, and God is always harmed by our sin, to release the debt incurred. Just like if somebody owes you money, if you tell them, hey, don't worry about it, it's not like you're being unjust in any way. What you're doing is you're just saying you're essentially giving them a gift. The gift of the money that you already gave them. Or the gift of allowing for the harm they may have caused you. Or the gift of the compensation that they would otherwise have to give you under the restrictions of justice. And so, yeah, again, you can say that I think this is a good model. That particular story of Christ is a great model for excuse me, a great model of how we ought to deal with debts like this, or how we can, at least, of how to be merciful, and that mercy is in no way contrary to justice, contrary to what a lot of people, even Christians, especially Calvinists, would say. I should have made him a sword, now that I think about it. I really should have made him a sword.
What do you mean? It's not that bad.
Well, if it hadn't been for me...
What about you? Ready for battle?
Ready. We can go.
Excellent. Mount up, then. I can't wait till we smash those whoresons' faces in.
Right, well, put on your armor, Hans. There you go. You don't look too great.
But so what?
You look okay.
Let's go. I can't wait to put that fraud from the Barkov in irons. With the force we have.
Okay, come on.
What do you think?
Are you blind? You almost ran into me.
Going into battle.
I can't wait to repay them for their kindness. I can still feel the spot in my shoulder where the arrow hit me at the pond.
Never mind your arrow. What about the humiliation I suffered? The rope is too good for those knaves. I'd have them quartered if it were up to me.
Aye, and quartered at least 3 times for what they did.
You're right. I'll ask von Berghoff to send for a truly skillful executioner. And when we've dealt with that band, Hanush is sure to acknowledge that I've made up for my mistake. Everything will be back to the way it was before. Audentes fortuna juvat!
Speaking of Sir Hanush, I wonder when Father What's-His-Face is going to get here. Father Lecherous Priest. Have I ever seen the woman equals root of all evil equation? I have. I don't think it's serious. I hope it's not serious. I don't exactly remember what all the details are, but it has something to do with women loving money or something? I don't know.
How was the Hungarian wine, gentlemen? I hope you don't have sore heads this morning.
Don't worry, Lord Chamberlain. My head is clear. A real knight knows how to behave on the eve of a battle.
Is he...
What about your faithful servant and protector here?
Is he wearing a breastplate?
I'm ready for battle, sir. I'm glad to hear it. Sir Otto has charged me with keeping you safe. I hope you don't have anything against me escorting you today, Lord Capon.
I can't say what an honor it is for me. I suppose someone doesn't want me to mess up again, eh?
But Lord Capon, taking care of our guests is right and proper.
That's true.
You, Sir Ulrich, should worry about not getting too many bloodstains on you today.
We all have our orders, and mine are to defeat that band of scoundrels in the Barkov. Why dally, then, when we have work to do? To battle, gentlemen! Open the gate! We're moving out!
I mean, do I need to go through the philosophical flaws in that formula? Or no? Like, yeah, there are some serious flaws there. You should worry about the Hunchback and the Bell Tower. Yeah, no, he's supposed to be there, don't worry. He helped ring the bells. Ooh. We have an army. Proper army. Ooh, with carriages for the weapons and arms and stuff. Nice. Very nice. That's not what I was wearing. I had much nicer armor than that, excuse me. Bare steel armor. Oh, okay, so a couple of major issues with the formula, if you want to. Women equals time and money is not actually correct. You could say that women require time and money, or relationships with women require time and money, that sort of thing. But a simple equity doesn't work. Not equity, sorry, equality does not work. Time is money only by analogy. Or by exchange, I suppose. And of course, money is not the root of all evil. It is the love of money. One might even say the idolatry of money is the root of all evil. That is certainly the case. And that's because money is essentially a representation of power.
That outlaw and his band really fucked with us last time, eh?
I'm just hoping he won't fuck with us again now.
There aren't enough of them that can tackle this kind of force.
Unpainted, unadorned, uncovered? What is this?
And to think, I drank a toast with that fucker. Christ.
I hope you enjoyed your wine, Lord Capon, since old Nebac was chewing on dry straw in his own cellars.
I do appreciate that
Don't you worry,
Capon's
Chamberlain.
hauberk goes
I'll
up to
see
his
to
chin.
that sneaky fucker
Actually
in
protects his throat.
You two are pathetic. I get the impression you're afraid to go into these woods, even with an army around you.
What?
I think I can see now why your lord barely escaped with his life. Maybe his captain underestimated the foe as light-heartedly as you.
Weigh your words carefully, young man. You didn't fare any better yourselves.
Yeah, that's
There was
exactly why I'll
definitely
be
somebody there on the left. Yep, there we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, there was definitely somebody there on the left. Ooh! Son bitch. Yeah, somebody had a gun.
What the?
Hand cannon is the term.
Oh,
I
God.
think.
Where?
Yeah.
Lift him up!
Fucking shit!
Hey!
Can't get out.
To me!
Give me your hand! Come on! God's sake! Get up, Henry! Come back off, bastard! No, he's really pissed me off. We have to get out of here! We can't go back! Right our way through! Quick! Down the path! It's done! Do it!
He'll kick your ass! You can't stand up to this!
Henry! We have to keep going! Down the path! We can't go back!
I hear gunfire. Am I actually... You know, okay, good. I am actually wearing my good armor. That's good. Speaking of which, let's put on our helmet just for safety's sake, yeah?
Dead! You can't stand up to this! Hey! Come and help me with this fucking...
Capon! Hands! Help me! Christ, I have to go to Chamberlain Ulrich! We have to help the fool! You hear, Henry? I need you here!
Show it to me! Get him from behind!
Henry, cover up!
Hurry, you fool! Fuck! My leg's caught!
This is all your fault!
Shut up! Help me! Quick!
Christ, man! I don't know why I'm bothering with you! A bit more! Come on! Try to help me, for fuck's sake!
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna shoot the gun guy. How about that?
Henry! Grab the Chamberlain and let's get out of here!
Really?
We have to get away! So help him!
I'm here. I'll help you. Fucking scum! Whoresons! Bastards!
Can I not just kill these guys? There's one.
Fuck me! Ulrich's dead! Let's get out of here! Fucking help me! Where the hell is he? I have to go to him.
Well, Ulrich's dead. I guess that's fine. Worse things have happened. Far worse things have happened.
fucking horse! We have to find a different way! But now, there are more of them behind us! There must be a way here somewhere! Make it fast! You got him! Come on,
Around the barricade?
we have to get away! Come on, find a way out of here! I'll slow them down!
Okay. There's a bunch of guys down there.
Hey! Come and help me with this bastard! Watch out! He's trying some Shut your stuff!
We'll kick your asses. Oh! Now I'll show you.
Have a look on me! You got him!
No.
He's done for!
Okay, great, but, like... Okay, through here.
Jesus, I'm sick.
Get on then! Capon! Where the hell is he? I have to go to him! We have to get to the mill! We'll lose them on the other side of the stream!
The mill? Why the mill?
Christ! It's the same everywhere!
Show your stuff!
Yeah! Alright.
Capon! Hands!
I'm trying to kill everyone! Why aren't you letting me kill everyone?
Let's go down!
Nice hit. Nice hit. Nice hit.
Watch out, Henry! There are shooters behind the wagons!
Not when I get to them.
Come and help me with this bastard.
Watch out! We have to get out of the gorge and down to the mill!
You got him!
He has two left hand!
Nice strike, bastard!
I do not have a lot of guys with me, but that's fine. Oof.
Quick! Capon! Hands!
Come on, really?
Christ, I have to go to him!
No, I don't want that. I want this. Okay, here we go. Good kill.
Hans! Hans! Look at me! Hans!
Jeez, get that helmet back on, man. It's a lot of blood. It does help that I think I just killed, like, 30 or 40 men.
We'll surely get a nice fat ransom for Lord Capon of Holstein.
You'll have to take him first.
My boy, courage is a thing of honor. But what you're proposing isn't courage. It's foolhardiness.
Again, nice use of the
Better to
Harvard.
have honor than to sneak up and ambush
up to
people
his
from
chin.
hiding.
It works, though. War is a nasty business. And it is better to have your head on your neck and your foe on his knees than the other way around.
But what is a coward
Wait.
turn to banditry?
Your foe on your neck and your
should
head
have
on
been
your
a knacker.
knees?
You'd still have your head on your neck. And your own seat in the tavern.
Shut your stupid mouth. You have no idea who you're talking to.
Yeah, to a weasel. Who shoots from the bushes instead of a fair fight.
Fair point.
You think so, huh?
Why dirty your hands with him, Captain? One shot.
I'm actually starting to think this young knight deserves a fair chivalrous duel. If he's good enough, I'll let him live.
Okay, here we go. Okay, nothing but Miser House at this point. I believe this is Jan Ziska, who is an actual, like,
so my boy,
Bohemian folk hero.
Let's see what you got.
It's a very neat little addition. All right, let's see. Gotcha.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck are you? A butcher?
No, I'm a blacksmith.
You think you can scare me? Not a chance.
Yeah!
Damn it! You're good.
Okay, yeah.
Shishka,
Yep.
you all right?
Jan Ziska, that's what I thought. He is also famously one-eyed.
Do you
Which
reckon you
I
can
think
trust
was
an outlaw to keep his word of honor?
Very clever. God, his ear is bleeding, poor guy. Who were on... Is that Henry and Hans? Did we die? Did I get a non-standard game over somehow?
The best laid plans of men don't always come to fruition. As the saying goes, man proposes, but God disposes.
I'm assuming that's not...
And then boots you right in the balls.
It's not Henry and Hans dead, but we'll see. Well, no, because we've seen Hans at least later. Chronologically. And I also happen to know that
All I
Henry
wanted
does
was a
continue
quiet
to be the
life.
protagonist, but whatever.
Nothing more. Take it easy. Have a bit of fun now and again.
Oh, yes. Just what you need, Father.
Piss anyone off too much. Apart from the use-its bailiff. But that's a different matter. but there's spiteful tongues everywhere. Well, you know how it is. And they complained about me to the man up above.
What? Him?
No. The bishop!
Well, probably both, honestly. But, yeah. Imsimp, was it you who posted the Sedefacantist meme about the Pope is standing, so the seat is empty? Because that was really
What
funny.
disgrace! A man has to enjoy himself from time to time. They couldn't just kick you out for nothing, though, could they?
Let me make it clear. I am the very paradigm of Christianity. But the church has more priests and parishes. So all it took was a bit of spiteful gossip. And then someone else got my parish.
Aye. Folk can be swine.
So actually,
a little bit sinful.
It suited me fine when Anush and Radzig's boys went missing, and I could hit the road to look for them. My nag Bibiana is happy to stretch her legs a bit finally, even though she's well past her prime. She's so unused to it. When I
Bibiana?
tied her up by the gate here, she nearly gave me a kick.
Is what he named his horse Drinker?
If you don't mind me asking.
It's no big secret, but I can't talk about it without...
Sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
Without having a drink inside.
Ah.
That is how he is.
Gales on the house, of course, Father.
Excellent. It's these two young fellas that recently set off for Trotsky with a letter and haven't come back. One's a blue-blooded fledgling and the other's a smart-ass smith. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, Sakra. Everyone who was at the Semine wedding knows them two. They caused such a ruckus that they was nabbed and locked up in Trotsky.
Well, I never. I'll go straight there then.
Well, Father, the thing is, a big force left the castle this morning. And they were ambushed in the ravine near the Barkov Mill. A terrible
This was
massacre.
Catherine's fault.
Folks say all hell broke loose there.
Folks do like talking about hell.
Seriously. I heard the Trotsky Chamberlain himself copped it, and his whole company with him. And most likely, your friends and all. I'm sorry.
What? Who's that? You said they were locked up. How could they be in the Chamberlain's company?
Annie and Kuba from the Barkov Mill saw it. They managed to get away when it all started, and I think they said they saw them two there and all. Ask them yourself if you want. They're in the barn round the back. Kuba took a hammering, but he's well enough to talk.
Interesting.
They could be mistaken though, couldn't they?
Well, if you want to be sure,
Well, here's hoping.
You can go and see for yourself, Father. The ravine ain't far from here. From the inn, follow the road east till you get to a big crossroads. And at the chapel there, head down towards the forest. Oh, by all accounts, them bodies are still lying there. I hope to God it was over quickly for them.
Surely not all of them. Those two lads are as tough as old boots. Well, thank you, in any case. I'll go and ask around, and God willing, I'll get them in one piece.
Hope dies last. I'm sorry I haven't better
And no,
news.
he's not a major voice actor.
Safe
I know that
travels,
this game
Father
doesn't really have
God
major
bless
voice
you.
actors. Or at least formerly major voice actors. Because I will say, Luke Dale has kind of blown up. The voice of Hans. But he reminds me of... what's he wearing midway? He reminds me of Robert Carlyle. Robert Carlyle being the one who the guy plays Nicholas Rush in Stargate Universe. He was Rumpelstiltskin in Once Upon a Time. That guy reminds me a bit of him, who is a fantastic actor, by the way. I really, really like him.
common folks that suffer the most.
Greetings.
What's going on here?
The lords are having a scrap, but it's always us common folk who end up suffering. Like this
Maybe
one.
just because he's Scottish.
He'll be lucky to see the morning.
Take care now.
God be with you, lad. I need to ask you something.
Oh, Christ. Kuba's in a bad way. He got shot. He needs to rest. What do you want from him?
What happened to you?
Both covered in blood.
An awful disaster. Our mill was like suddenly in the middle of a battlefield.
Like?
In the evening, some
Really?
men burst in on us, herded us into the barn and wouldn't let anyone out. And then, in the morning, the ravine suddenly turned into hell itself. Awful. Dreadful.
Easy. You have nothing to fear now, lass. What did you hear from the barn?
Branches snapping, horses whinnying, yelling, and infernal crashes and bangs. We tried to flee, but Cooper was hit in the shoulder by an arrow.
Looked like the shoulder so much as the breast, but okay.
All over. And then, by then, them bastards had other things to worry about. They took some captives.
I'm looking for 2 friends. The innkeeper told me they were involved in that skirmish. Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein and Henry, his page. Have you heard those names?
Lord have mercy.
He'd be more like a squire at this point, I would think.
They were the ones that was taken captive.
Are you sure?
Well, that's good.
After what they got up to at the Semine wedding, half the domain knows them. They was hanged.
My God! Surely not. There must have been lots of people there. Maybe you made a mistake in the confusion.
I'm sorry.
How can you be so sure? How far away were you? What happened exactly?
I'm just saying what I saw. That's all.
I'm asking if you're sure. Would you swear to God? Well, speak!
Before Almighty God? Well, maybe. I mean,
Maybe.
It was all a bit chaotic, that's true.
Well, who were those?
Does he have a single point suspension on his sword?
Nebag's colours, but it wasn't his men. We know his men.
Or is it 2?
They ride by the mill often enough and sometimes stop off for a chat.
I'll leave you to get some rest. I must find my friends, however they ended up. Da Deus Fortunae.
Oh, was that Latin? Are you a priest or what?
Aye, I'm a priest. Well, I used to be.
Merciful
are.
Mother of God. That's some good fortune at least. Could you bless Cooper, please?
I think that's a
Maybe
1
he'll
point
get
suspension,
better
which
if
is
you
weird.
put a word in for him with the Almighty.
Of course. I'd be happy to. Benedictio Domini sit vobiscum. Benedictus qui venit in nomine Domini.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father. Here, take this and pray for us, please.
All right. Of course I will. Farewell, my friends.
Please, God, make Cooper better again. I beg you.
Okay. First of all, let's just put that on. Oh, wait. It's not an actual wearable? Okay, never mind. I do want to look at this. Yeah, no, it's a single point suspension, but it's a single point on the belt, but it's 2 on the sheath. That's interesting. Huh. I wonder why. A longsword like that usually would have a 2-point suspension. It would be on the belt in 2 separate places, like forward and backward, so it doesn't, wiggle so much. Okay, so go to the side of the ambush. Can I fast travel or no? No. I have no fast travel spots. Fine. Where's Bibiana? Drinker. Okay, go in the right direction at least.
Go!
Ah! Ah!
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, speaking of Bebiana and silly names for things and potentially false etymologies.
Good girl.
I've having just had tacos tonight because it's Tuesday. I was wondering if Imsimp, if you know anything about Spanish etymology.
Go!
In particular, I have long wondered whether the word avocado means or originates from what it sounds like. Because it sounds to my ear as if it originates from or has something to do with the phrase unspoken. Is that, am I deranged
to take
here?
a left at the crossroads.
Left? Oh, no, yeah, that's right. Am I out of my depth on this, or what?
Well, this must be that chapel. Now to the right, and down to the woods.
Go!
The tracks lead to the right. I'd better tread carefully. That company must have headed into the thicker forest. They used the trees as cover. Wagons. They probably used them to block the way and prevent a retreat. Smart. I should keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah, probably.
They rained arrows down on them. Good God, what a bloodbath.
It's not going to let me loot. Like, properly loot. Only rob. Because I could get some nice armor here. Which I feel like I'll probably need looking at the situation.
What? Something bog...
What are you up to here, fellas?
What's it to you? Do you want to end up like these ones here?
I think not. And you don't need to raise your voice. My hearing's fine. And I come in peace.
So you should. You don't look like you're up to much else.
I'm looking for two of my friends here. I heard they were fighting on von Bergov's side.
Then they're fucked!
You can't know that.
Are you blind, old man? Take a good look around. No one could survive a massacre like that.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad massacre.
What happened here? Do you have any idea?
Von Bergov's soldiers took a hammering. That's all you need to know. I don't care who did it or why. All I care about is there's lots of valuable things in all this carnage that will come in very handy.
Stop with that desecration. The poor man deserves to rest in peace.
Thanks a lot for your advice. But you know what you can do with it? Clear off and take no notice of us. If you're looking for a corpse of your own, the soldiers have a pit full of them down there. If you get a move on, you won't even have to do much digging.
I might regret this, but
Someone ought to teach you manners.
Some old fart like you mean?
You'll soon see what this old fart can do. Arsehole.
Go to hell!
Do it!
Hold on. Let me check something first. Whoa! That's a lot of combos. Bam. Okay.
Just quickly. I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker.
I'll be done with you in a flash.
Don't you run from me. Don't you run from me. That's my horse. What do you think you're doing with my horse? Ah! I'm an old man. Why are you running? Seriously? How much further can you run? Are you kidding me? Really? Come on. Okay. Now I can take stuff. All right. Sure. I can't change. What? Oh, well, why did I bother? Whatever. Okay, never mind. I guess I'll walk back. Do I have any... Let's try this again, huh?
Go! Hey, nice and slow.
You don't need to go nice and slow. We can go at a reasonable pace, right? Well, we killed that one guy, or both of those guys.
Bless their souls.
Amen.
And they blocked their way forward as well. They were trapped. The man who planned this thinks like a true warrior. In any case...
I mean, it was Jan Ziska.
The wasn't exaggerating. It looks like a Turkish raiding party swept through here.
Damn it! Where do you think... Hey, I told you quite clearly to stay in the forest. You're welcome to anything you find up top, but stay away from here.
God be with you, lad. I'm not one of those corpse looters.
Listen, one more step, and it'll be your last, old man.
Calm down. I don't want any trouble. I'm looking for someone.
You got a nice little bollock dagger.
And who do you serve?
I dig it.
The Lord God, my son. And wine, every now and again. Or ale. I'm not fussy.
What are you saying? You're a priest? You don't look like no priest.
I hear that a lot. But it's God's truth.
So who are you looking for, father?
I'm looking for my friends. And I want to make sure they aren't among the dead. Can you take me to your commander?
All right, follow me. Eric can decide what to do with you.
Eric?
Move it, idlers. Bury them properly so the wild animals don't get to them.
Eric!
What are you doing here?
Who's this guy?
You're supposed to be on guard at the mill. I made it quite clear. I want that fucking rabble kept out of here. Who's this? Your pa?
No, sir. He says he's a priest, and he's looking for someone. So I thought...
Quiet! You, speak! Who are you? And who are you looking for?
Godwin. I'm a priest and I'm looking for my friends. Or their bodies.
And what exactly do you want from me?
I'd like to ask what happened here.
What do you think? A battle is what happened. And the best side won. Us. Now I've got to clear up this mess.
Sorry, this might sound stupid, but I've just arrived and I've no idea.
It's odd that they're so well organized as an insurgency, and that they remain an
The
insurgency.
cream of the local fiefdom. That bastard von Burgo threw everything he had at us, but it wasn't enough.
Now that I've introduced myself, I'm keen to know who you might be.
You may have introduced yourself, but I don't know why I should believe you. Whoever heard of a priest with a sword under his belt?
It's actually on his belt. over it, really.
De omnibus est dubitandum. Let's just say I'm whatever I need to be at the moment. A priest, a warrior, a tireless lover.
Hey, Adam. How you
After
doing?
all, the Lord helps those who help themselves, eh?
Why would he say that? That
You know how to preach. Maybe you really are a priest.
It looks like you crushed
that
them
phrase
badly.
would not come into common usage for
leave
another
any
like 300 or 400 years.
I don't think so. So if your
300,
pals were
really.
against
No,
us,
almost 400.
you'll find them in that pit there.
I hope not. I don't think you'd throw a nobleman into any old hole.
Nobleman?
Aye, a nobleman. I'm looking for the Lord of Perkstein and his page.
The Lord of Perkstein?
Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and Henry of Skalitz.
The captain took some prisoners with him, but I've no idea if it's them.
You better hope it is.
Right then.
Get scammed by a job
My
offers
name's
wanting to pay
Eric,
you in Bitcoin.
and
I
I'm
mean,
in command here.
that's not necessarily a scam. It's just something you have
I'd
to be
like
very
to see the
careful with.
prisoners. Will you take me to your captain?
We'll see. Have you brought a ransom?
I still don't know if they're dead or alive. So first, I want to see them.
You fuckers! You won't get away with this! No way!
What the fuck are you ranting about?
We made a deal. You leave us alone, and we'll leave you. And you shat on it, you fucking orsons!
What's he on about?
Well, up there in the ravine, I bumped into a few scoundrels who were looting the dead.
And?
I put a stop to it.
You killed my brother! You'll pay for that! You'll all die, you bastards!
Is that one of the guys from
Nice
Nepal?
priest you are. God's truth. Oh well. They were starting to fucking annoy me anyway.
Oh boy, here we go.
So here's another job for you, old man. You're gonna help me sort out the mess you caused us. And if we survive, I'll take you to the captain. He'll be interested to meet you.
So there's two groups here,
Come
essentially.
on, then,
there's
you
actual
assholes!
bandits, and then there's whatever noble group is involved here.
I'll be done with you at last. I've been waiting for you. Fucking horsons!
Oh, true blood, yeah!
Next one will be in your face!
Help me with it! Don't spare him!
No, that'll do it. Hello, Eric.
Fuck! That was something! They got what they had coming, the fucking thieves!
I'd say it's God's punishment. Requiem aeternam dona eis, Domini.
You really know how to wield a sword. Tell me, where did you learn to fight like that? And leave God out of it this time?
In the Battle of Kosovo. I did a bit of traveling when I was young, and lopped up a few Turkish heads along the way.
And you settled
So he
down
was
in
a
your old age?
crusader.
Till recently, I was the parish priest in Ujits, near Sasau.
Sasau?
Looks to me like you're going to need a bigger hole for the bodies.
We're not gonna dig graves for those fuckers.
Leave them to rot without a Christian burial. Nobody deserves that. Not even enemies. And besides, those corpses could attract wolves from the forest.
Sod the wolves. Let them fill their bellies.
Anyway, what about our...
Are you just going to leave that?
Still on.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I'll take you to the castle, so you
He
can
tried.
talk to the captain.
He tried.
He always appreciates a good warrior.
What castle?
Nabokov. Although, castle might be a strong word for it.
Yeah, Adam, the idea of being paid in Bitcoin is probably an indication of something sketchy, but it's not not necessarily a scam in and of itself.
So tell me, Godwin, why are you looking for those two anyway?
Oh, they're my friends. I hadn't heard from them for a long time.
Because it
so I
is,
set out
like,
to find
functionally, it is currency.
Surely a priest can't leave his parish just like that, can he?
Mother Church isn't happy with me. I sinned.
Am I? No. I still need to take a potion, but unfortunately, I am full, and will be I will be unfortunately fat. I do.
Have anything to do with the way you wield a weapon?
It had more to do with the way I wield a tankard.
Look, That's Nabokov up on the left. It's got a commanding view of the whole valley.
That
Tell me,
wall is...
do you ride as well as
shit.
you wield a sword? Let's see. I'll race you there. Yeah!
Yeah!
But yeah, Bitcoin is essentially a currency. It's just a fairly non-standard currency. And, unfortunately, a highly unstable currency. The biggest problem, I think the biggest problem with using Bitcoin for purposes like that, actually, like employment or trade or whatever, it's that because Bitcoin's value is somewhat unstable, it's never quite clear how much your Bitcoin that you get paid today is going to be worth tomorrow.
You're a fine horseman as well.
And that's kind of the problem with it.
Bibiana
I love the idea of Bitcoin, and I really look forward to the possibility of it sort of stabilizing out.
Like you. In any case,
its value stabilizing
welcome
out.
to Nabokov.
Because I think it can be a very useful currency, but really as a currency,
take good care of them.
Very nice fortress.
Its purpose right now is kind
How
of a
did you
speculative
manage to take
investment,
it?
which is
In a moment, you can ask the captain yourself.
I
sketchy.
can't wait. Wait here for me, Bibiana. I'll be back soon.
I think
And
anything
maybe I'll
official
have
should
the
be in
two
cold hard
little
cash.
blighters with me.
Well, most of us don't get paid in cash. I'm just saying. You probably... Do you get paid in cash? Because I don't get paid in cash. I get paid in direct deposit. Which is,
Where's the chief?
M4.
Brought
Or
him a
M3?
guest.
Certainly not
He's
M1.
interrogating
Or,
some captives.
Sorry, no, it's M2.
Call him.
It's M2.
I believe they're still alive. You're in luck.
I hope so.
Deposit or check. See, there you go. Money is
What
in
is it,
US
Eric?
dollars. Why? US dollars are
I'm
far
busy.
less reliable than Bitcoin. Frankly. It's not like Bitcoin
This here
is
Father
particularly
Goodwin,
stable or reliable,
or a
but
priest.
honestly, I
He's
do
handier
think
with
it
a
is more
sword than
reliable
most
than
of
US
your
dollar.
men. He helped us against some bandits. And he's looking for Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Well, well. This is quite a turn-up. I've just had a very interesting chat with this Capon. And your Ishtvan. Now I think I want to have a chat with you.
Interesting.
Go and wait for me in the tower.
See, that's the thing, is I think there is a substantial difference between Bitcoin and most other cryptocurrencies. Ethereum is somewhat respectable, but a lot of cryptos are just shitcoins.
God be with you, Captain. I expect you are the master of this fortress.
They don't have any kind
surmised
of
correctly.
utility
Who
to
are you?
Bitcoin, though,
And to what
does.
do I owe the honor of your visit?
As your man-at-arms Eric said, I'm Father Godwin. I'm in the service of Sahanush of Lipa, and I'm looking for his nephew.
Hanush of Lipa, eh?
Yeah, Bitcoin provides
Interesting.
a very
Did I hear
good service
correctly that
of
you're a
security
priest? You don't look the part.
and a permanent ledger, which I think is actually quite useful.
Ne credas aurum, quid resplendent ut aurum. Perhaps not, but I am. And who are you, sir?
You don't need to know my name. I'm a knight, and that should be enough for you.
Conversing with a man without knowing his name is a little awkward. But so be it. Am I to understand, Sir Knight, that young Lord Capon is alive
We'll get to
and
your
well
questions in a
and is
moment. I
your
wanna-
captivity
this is
here?
this
You
involves quick time
understand correctly.
conversation.
And he's in better shape than I am. I don't have this bandaged eye for fashion. That page of his did this to me.
It doesn't pay to underestimate that one. He's one of the few who can hold his own with me, whether sword fighting or boozing.
Boozing? You're a proper priest, then.
Unfortunately, the bishop had other ideas.
I have a feeling that's just one chapter in your colored history. Am I right?
Indeed. But this isn't the time or place for recounting adventures. You have my friends, and I want them back. So what do we do about that?
Straight to the point, eh?
Oh, you're
You're
a
a
Knight of
man
Columbus.
after
Is
my
this a
own
new
heart.
development? Did you just
So
join?
what do you
or how'd that go?
propose?
First of all, I'd like to see them, to make sure they're safe and sound as you claim.
They're both fine. For
Kind
now.
of thinking about it. I might.
You have my
I might join.
word.
The word of an unknown knight? That's as much use to me as
the word of a dubious priest with a bloody sword in one hand and a wineskin in the other is to me.
All right.
Well, let me put it another way, Sir Knight. I don't know what happened here exactly, who you are, or what your quarrel with Otto von Bergau is. But I guarantee you,
you've been a member
those
since
two
2019.
greenhorns won't interfere with your plans, and you've no reason to hold them.
I'll have you know, these two greenhorns came with Otto von Bergov's army to conquer this fortress, and they were the most dogged of all his men.
That's true.
And I have to admit, the best as well, as my eye can testify.
I've no idea how they got mixed up in everything, but they only came here to deliver a message. As you no doubt
You do
well
need to
know,
get the false
Lord
apostasy
von
taken care
Bergau
of.
is on the opposite side
you do.
of the Lord of Lipa. So if that pair joined up with him, they must have had a damn good reason for it, believe me. But that's by the by. It's over and done with. Release them. I'll take them away and Sir Hanush will be in your debt.
Tell me, Father, what price does Sir Hanush put on his nephew?
How much do you have in mind?
You're not even able to name a figure. What kind of negotiator are you?
I'm not a negotiator. I have a task to fulfill, and that's what I intend to do. I was afraid at first that if anyone was going to hold them captive, it'd be von Bergau, and I'd have to party with him. Ah, well. Man proposes, and God disposes.
This whole story
I
of
love
yours
that
sounds
return
to
of
me
phrase.
rather suspicious. How am I to know you're not von Bergov's spy? Maybe I should throw you in the same cell with that pair.
Excellent! At least I'd get to see them with my own eyes, and not have to put up with any more horse shit from a lying cyclops!
Enough! To
Is that-
hell with you! You've got no ransom, and you don't want a parley. So we're done here. Be glad I'll let
Why are you
leave in one
antagonizing?
piece.
You won't get rid of me that easily!
Rebellion! They're attacking!
Oh,
I came here to get them, and that's what I'm gonna do.
that wasn't the dagger you had on your belt.
Looks like you know how to use a blade.
Fighting Turks will teach you that.
Hungary?
Kosovo.
Oh, he still has the bollet
help me.
dagger. Okay.
I'll let them go.
Who's rebelling? In the world? Is it the like bandits they've got? There's some kind of crazy infighting going on here, and it's deeply confusing.
Up and at them! Kill them to the last man!
Rebels. First of all, I need a little bathy. Do I still keep Henry's perks? That's a good question. I want to see if this is gonna heal me. No, it's dang it. Screw it. I can't afford to be this injured going into a battle.
No mercy! Oh! Cover your head, damn it! It's mine! Stay straight! Come on, then! There! Yeah! Don't spare him!
Ah, very dead. Very dead. Okay.
You want to try me?
That won't work on me.
Your arse open!
I'll kill you for that! Got him!
This has been going on too long.
Take that! You can hardly stand
Oh, shoot.
control!
There's a lot of them. Okay, this is a problem.
You want to try
Now we
me?
finish this!
quite had enough, yes?
Okay, one down, another one down. Okay, moving on.
Show what you're made of.
Okay, another one down.
Let's end this, you shit! Too slow!
Christ, I don't have the whole day for you. I'm all yours.
Okay, you're down. One more tough guy. All right, here we go. Here we go.
This has been going on too long. Fuck you! No, you'll die!
Nope, I won't. Don't want to. Come on! Just... Why won't you die?
Whether you're a priest or not, I have to admit, you're damned handy with a sword.
Likewise. But what the hell was that all about?
Looks like those friends of yours were right. Von Bergov's spies infiltrated us. Istvan Toth and that Eric of his.
Eric? Where is Eric?
Fuck! To the captives, quick, before it's too late.
Uh-oh. I have, like 4 hit points. This isn't great. Okay, so, Imsif asked earlier, on a similar note, how can people take Islam with all its heresies and misguided theology and create a mysticism and scholarly school to study such
pay the
things?
ransom for you.
I mean, and again, comparing it to Mormonism that does not have deep-thinking scholars and mysticism.
We'll see about you.
That is actually a fair point. If they let him keep his armor, that's nice. Istvan. The Fangaloo.
You! Tough! You swine! You're lucky I can't get to you, you treacherous cunt! Bark at me, you dog! Who the hell do you think you are? Where's my sword? Who is this? Man. Surely you're not going to listen to some vagabond? What, but you think you should listen to Sigismund's bitch? Enough!
What's he talking about? Well, you clearly don't know your own men. Although this one is Sigismund's man. We've already had the honor.
They're making up shit to avoid the gallows!
So that's why you were so keen to avoid that battle.
We were defending the castle as you ordered!
Intention.
Throw him in the cell with Nebak.
I'm sure you'll get on just fine together.
You're making a terrible mistake!
Maybe take
We'll
take
see
his
about
armor.
that.
Maybe take his armor.
You want it at the gate?
Shit. I'm not done with you yet.
Well, that's tense. All right, hold on. Let me address the question. So, and then let me address the budding political situation, which I still don't exactly know what's going on here. I'm very curious. I'm sure more will be revealed as we move forward. But to MSim's question, that is an interesting query. That I think it really ultimately comes down to numbers and to regional dominance, right? Mormonism has never had any kind of regional dominance. I mean, sure, Utah, I guess, but it's never been anywhere near 100% of a population, whereas Islam absolutely was, for a long period of history, in a massive region. And so what that means is that everyone in that region is part of this religious group. And so because of that, you have everyone of every sort in that region subscribing to the same ideas. Even if those ideas are, patently, repainted Christian heresies, and there's some silliness to it and whatnot. And they're largely incoherent, and there are all sorts of problems with the theology of Islam. Even then, right, there's still the issue that there are going to be people who are careful, deep thinkers, and when you are brought up in a culture that is Islamic, And especially if there's realistically no other option, you're going to do scholarship and you're going to do it within that particular framework. Just kind of how it's going to go. And so you have apologists for even a bad idea. Mormonism is a bit different, and I do see that there are an odd number of there are people who are at least far more intelligent than I would think, and far more learned than I would think, who are Mormons. Especially like for my go-to example of this, and I mean no offense to him, really, but people like Shad from Shadiversity is a devout Mormon, and yet he extensively studies medieval European history. Huh? I don't know. I don't know what more to say about that. Like, that seems absurd to me. Studying medieval Christendom while thinking that the church of the time is entirely apostate. I cannot make sense of that, especially given the absolute absurdities of Mormon pseudo-history. The descriptions of the ancient Near East in the Book of Mormon are patently absurd. They're wildly anachronistic. And then you have the craziness of what allegedly took place in North America, which is just obviously false from even just a common sense perspective, but also from any kind of scholarly historical perspective. So yeah, I don't know. It's loony to me that you can be that deep in history and remain a Mormon, but I don't know. Imsim says, I've seen some sort of brainwashing characteristics within Mormonism, such as the idea of having a testimony. They really emphasize going up once a month and declaring you believe it all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. There's an element to that. And when you have Mormonism has a tendency of exacerbating the errors of Protestantism and the excesses of Catholicism, all wrapped up into one. You have the extensive hierarchy and the very, very top-down, very controlled hierarchy that was typical of sort of classical Catholicism, which can absolutely be taken too far, and I think Mormonism might. And then you combine that with certain pseudo-Protestant heresies like sola fide, which gets manifested in Mormonism as the kind of burning in the bosom type of thing, right? Which again manifests in a kind of anti-intellectualism or anti-rationalism. And yeah, you wind up with a way to avoid thinking about things clearly and coming to rational conclusions about them. Which, yeah, that can be quite, both spiritually and intellectually dangerous. Imsim says, however, nobody doubts Proverbs or 2 Kings, the Acts of the Apostles. Nobody says, I believe Moses is the prophet of God. Wait, what? Or, I know the book of Exodus is true, but they always say that Joseph Smith is a true prophet of God, the Book of Mormon is a true book and testifies to Jesus Christ. Wait, really? There isn't a kind of... I would have thought that there would be just as much of an emphasis on sort of continuity between the Book of Mormon and the Old and New Testaments. I really would have thought that there were... Really? That's fascinating. See, I always thought that one of the key characteristics of Mormonism was an attempt at drawing emphasis on the continuity between the Book of Mormon and the Bible. But wow, they emphasize Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon. Interesting. Very interesting. That's not the approach I would take, but what do I know? I'm no brainwasher, so to speak. I'm no rhetorician even, so I don't know. They claim that, but once you read it, they are distinct. Well, yeah, of course they are. Like, again, it's very much Second Great Awakening American Protestant theology, low church Protestant theology. Yeah, Imsim asked how to break the brainwashing and save others. Figure that out, and you'll be a hero. God bless. Good luck.
What do you want here, you swine?
I'm doing what I do best, and you're getting in my way again. Fate, I suppose. We have
What
the
do you do
same
best?
fairy godmothers. Whores.
You dog! You're in the mood for jokes? After what you did here in the fortress? Give me one good reason I shouldn't strangle you on the spot.
Strangling your rescuer would be a mistake, Sir Yaramir. A big mistake. And most likely a mortal sin.
Rescuer? What are you on about?
Why do you think you're still alive? Thanks to me. I persuaded Zhishka not to get rid of you for good.
Don't listen to him. He's a liar and a traitor to this land.
And a loyal servant of King Sigismund and our Sir Otto von Burgau. Just like you, sir. Or am I mistaken?
Otto von Burgau?
Indeed. While these two support that drunken, good-for-nothing Wenceslas, like that bastard Zhishka.
Why did you help him then?
It was a direct order from Sir Otto.
What order?
Gain Zhishka's trust and stop his perfidious raiding once and for all. Unfortunately, getting away from here in time and warning Sir Otto about the trap was harder than I expected. And that's why I'm locked up here now. In any case, you wouldn't be alive without me.
I assume all of this
Believe
is
me,
lie.
sir.
I'm not going to obsess about the sword yet. I'll come back to it. Yeah, Imzimp, it takes a tremendous amount of courage to walk away from something with that level of connection. That level of social pressure, really. But yeah, many youth are leaving the religion. Maybe it's a matter of picking your targets, you know? If you can save but one soul, you've saved the world.
Don't believe him. He's a common bandit. He did the same at my hometown. Attacked castles, murdered, and plundered.
I was given a direct order by my lord, who is yours too, and I'm carrying it out as best as I can.
Behind bars?
Like I said, if everything had gone to plan, it wouldn't be us in this dungeon, but Zhishka. But don't worry, sir. I haven't said my final word yet.
Well, I don't want to be too hasty, but all right, I'll take your word for it. For the moment.
I hate this faggot.
You'll regret it if you're lying to me.
No doubt.
Very appropriate that we're meeting him at the beginning of Pride Month. Anyway, bold of Kingdom Come Deliverance to have a gay-coded villain. Anyway. Imsim says, I feel like if I leave, they paint me as an apostate and may seek legal action to keep me from contacting members. Can they do that? I mean, I would not necessarily put it past them in Utah, but I don't know if could they do that in California? That's odd. Though my particular Mormon ward is different from the Utah hardliners. Okay, there you go. With many recovering drug addicts. Yeah. I mean, that is a... Oh God. I'm sorry, that brought immediately to mind Jim Jones. Being in California and it being a weird offshoot semi-Christian cult, or Christian-ish cult, and then, you know, bringing in a bunch of hard knock type people. And it being very difficult to leave and pursuing legal action against people who do. Yeah, this is starting to sound a little Jim Jonesy, frankly. I don't know.
Where's my sword?
Your sword?
Maybe I'm making connections where there aren't.
You're still bothered about that?
Don't go
It's
crazy.
only a piece of iron. I have to admit, your father did a good job on it, though. Beautiful work. His last.
You won't look so pleased with yourself when I'm gutting you with that sword.
I'm not sure you'll get the opportunity, to be honest. If either of us has a chance of getting out of here alive.
I think he lost a little weight
Certainly
since the
not
last game.
you.
Don't try it on. You fled from Talmberg like a thrashed dog. And if it's true you're working for von Bergov, you haven't done too well. All your men are dead, and you're here in a cell.
Oh,
For
yeah,
the
the
time
helmet speed
being,
should sound muffled somewhat.
Wait
yeah.
and see.
I get the feeling you touched a nerve there, Henry. This vermin doesn't have a backup plan.
I'll be free before you know it.
I wish he could raise the
Now
helmet,
do you
or
intend to
raise
get out
the
of
faceplate. in
Surprisingly,
conversation.
I have better prospects than you two. And waiting for a ransom is only the last resort.
Who would pay a ransom for you?
Don't tell anyone, but how about the man who sent me here? And he's close by. Unlike Lord Hanush is at the other end of the country.
Zhishka would have to be out of his mind to release you.
Really? People like Zhishka know coin is more important than revenge. You can't bay a band of mercenaries with nice feelings. Besides, seeing what happened, I don't think Zhishka is going to want to stay long. And I wouldn't expect him to wait around until a messenger brings a ransom from Ratai. One way or another, he won't have any need for you. Either of you. And that's when my time will come.
Insabeth, should we feel bad if we miss a day of the Rosary? It depends.
No one's yet built the gallows I'll swing from, boy.
I don't think Henry's planning to hang you.
By default, I would say no.
likely,
However, if you have
open,
made a
and
sort
I'll
of
be glad to
solemn
help you.
dedication to do so, then yeah. So.
When did you start recruiting Radzig's people, Eric?
What's the matter? Lost your tongue?
I think he was looking for this.
You swine! Ugh.
You better hope your father pays a nice fat ransom.
Rot in hell! Ugh.
Eric! You're just about to do some gutting.
There's no time for it.
There's always time for this.
What are you gonna do?
No, we've got to flee now.
Are you gonna stab him through the bars? Especially given that he's in full plate mail? I'm just saying, like...
There'll be time when we meet again.
What the fuck was that? Fuck it!
The little boyfriend king.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus Christ. Gentlemen! It's Godwin!
No!
I thought I'd be carrying your bodies home. Can you even deliver a letter?
Shoot them!
I will get those fuckers.
Instinctively did the sign of the cross as well when he said that. Good.
They're riding to
Good
Trusky.
habits.
You
Very
were
good
right.
All you had to do was trust us.
Trust you? When you came at me with von Bergov's army? Sorry, but my eye doesn't see it that way.
Maybe we wouldn't have come at anyone with an army if they hadn't tried to kill us earlier and weren't cozying up with that bastard Istvan.
There might be some truth in that. We got off on the wrong foot, all right. But it seems we have a lot to say to each other.
Too right. I have to admit I'm getting a bit lost in all this mess.
Is saying Christ's name like that taking
You're
the
not
Lord's
the
name in
only
vain? I don't
one.
think so.
Well, let's start with you, Captain. You know all of us, but we don't know you from Adam.
I am Jan of Trotsnov, also known as Zhishka. These days in the service of Jan Sokol of Lamberg and Margrave Prokop of Luxembourg.
Prokop? Jobst of Luxembourg's brother? What a coincidence. We're here at Jobst's instigation.
Well, Sir Hans, the problem is Prokop is at this very moment in Sigismund's jail in Pressburg on account of Jobst's treachery, which doesn't exactly make us allies.
We know what Jobst is like, and I don't trust him one bit. But we came here to try to get von Bergov and the League of Lords to parley and end this war. We're on the same side.
You're right, and it's a good thing you don't trust that snake. I've been double-crossed by
We're
him
gonna
so
wrap this
many
up soon,
times that I won't make the mistake of trusting him again.
I'm glad we've cleared that up. And now, I'd like to know how you two got from delivering a message to riding with von Berghaus men.
How? We had a common enemy, that's how. As soon as we arrived, we were attacked by Zhizka here and his men. They murdered our company, took our message, and on top of that, they had Istvan with them.
And Istvan was actually working for von Berghoff all this time.
Where did you pick up that bastard, Zizka?
When I came here, I was putting together a band, and he turned up, along with Eric and a couple of others.
You recruited him? Just like that?
Lord Capon, when you do what I do, you don't get to choose from the best, but the worst. And he was good at our trade. So good, I didn't notice he was setting me up.
If you're in Sokol's service, as you said, what exactly is it you're doing for him?
Waging war, as you've no doubt noticed.
There's a fine line between waging war and marauding.
As a man of your experiences must know, war takes many forms. And since King Wenceslas and Prokop are imprisoned and the Czech noblemen are useless, we're doing the best we can alongside Sokol. We're making life difficult for the traitors who are in league with Sigismund. And Otto von Berghoff is traitor-in-chief.
Interesting. Very interesting. So they're essentially insurgents, but for Prokop on behalf of Wenceslas. Very interesting. So it is part of a declared war. Essentially, it's just a sort of untoward, underhanded part of a bigger declared conflict.
Well, I understand you were out to harm von Berghoff, but why did you attack us, for God's sake?
We saw you meet up with his garrison. It looked like a friendly encounter, so we figured you were with von Berghoff.
You killed all my men! They were good lads!
And you killed my men. Though some of them were far from good.
War is a nasty business, Captain. What happened, happened. And it's a burden we all have to bear.
Tell that to Oates.
Also, yeah, I am very suspicious of Catherine. Okay, so your men were about to commit rape. Yes, that's true. But I think, wasn't it him who bashed one of their heads in for doing so? If I recall. So let's not go that way. Catherine, that's an interesting question. Yeah, Imsim says, I want to play a table. Now I wanted to play a tabletop RPG set in the real Middle Ages whenever you watch this stream. There are some really great OSR products that basically do that. Lion and Dragon is a good one. I've looked into it. I haven't actually played it. I haven't played using it, but it's a well put together old school D&D style system.
Do you know Catherine?
Who?
The girl from by the pond, for whose sake you killed your own man.
No.
You killed your own man to protect a woman you don't know.
Looks like it, doesn't it? Nobody has tried anything of the sort since, so they got the message.
Huh. Well, good. Fair enough.
If there's one thing I can't figure out, it's how come you suddenly turned up here, Godwin?
Or would you rather I hadn't?
Certainly not.
You
came at just the right time.
I kind of love him, and I kind of resent him.
I have
a
the
little
feeling
bit.
it wasn't God who sent you. But
So I've not played
guardian
Lion and Dragon. I have the book. I've
He
looked through it.
dropped by
I've
to
used
see
it
me
for.
just as
I've
the
used a lot
bishop
of the
was
resources in
kicking
it for
me out of my
D&D.
parish.
Or
He
5e
said
D&D.
you'd been gone suspiciously long, and I was wondering where I was going to live. So we made a deal that I'd go and check up on you.
That was a good idea, I must say.
I think so too. For a while, I was worried I'd have to take you home in sex.
Any set during the Crusades or earlier? Yeah, so there's a companion to Lion and Dragon that is set in the Fourth Crusade, I think, specifically. I forget what it's called. And then there is also another sort of companion or expansion to it called something Blood that's set in 9th century Poland, specifically. 9th or 10th century. I think it's 9th century. Is it Fourth Crusade? Okay, I think it's Fourth Crusade. Don't necessarily quote me on that. I think it's the Fourth Crusade.
Did you want to kill von Berghoff?
Of course. And
Yeah,
as you
it's,
know, we almost succeeded. But just making his life
At least
hell was enough.
I think it is.
Making sure he lost as much
I know
coin and
Constantinople
manpower
is
as
involved
possible, so he couldn't help
in the
Sigismund.
system. So there you go.
And we hit him where it hurt, believe me.
Something
So you were
something
doing
about
the
Silk Road.
same as Toth was doing in Sasau, in Sigismund's service, or maybe even von Bergov's.
I suppose so. I also understood from what he said that he'd been harassing the enemy a bit too, but he didn't say who that was. Now it's clear why.
Harassing a bit? No offense, but you're a dabbler compared to him. Istvan took Talmberg Castle. He assembled a huge
he took
force
Nabokov
and almost seized
Castle,
control
which
of
is
the
kinda little
entire
by
Sasau
comparison, but
region.
still.
The whole region had to band together to put an end to his mischief.
And did you?
I should say so.
You see then, this whole region also banded together against me. And did they stop me? And who did you say the dabbler was?
Yeah, that is a good point. That the Pope condemned the sack of Constantinople even proactively, like before it happened. So yeah, good. That's certainly. It was certainly an unfortunate disaster. Mostly, as far as I know, it was mostly just due to miscommunication.
Why do you think Istvan joined you when he's on Sigismund's side?
That's a good question. Either he just needed coin and joined the first band he came across, and when he found out who I was, he secretly did an about-face and planned to double-cross us. Or he was already Sigismund's spy when he joined us. Anything's possible.
Why did Istvan let you ambush von Bergov instead of telling him you were at Nebokov? If he's on his side.
Well, that's not so mysterious. It all happened so fast that he didn't have time to do anything. What's more, I kept everyone inside the fortress before the battle. For that precise reason. So no idiot would give us away. Although it's true he wanted to avoid that battle. He tried to talk me out of it. And now we know why. While we're on the subject of Istvan, I understand you have some history between you.
It's a pretty ugly story. As Lord Capon said, he went marauding in our Sasau region. He seized Talmberg Castle, imprisoned my father, and stole his sword. And his commander, Markvart, killed my mother and stepfather while they were raising our village.
That's a long list.
How did Semyon come to join you?
Von Berghoff is a bad master, and you're not the only ones who don't like what Sigismund's doing in Bohemia. It wasn't hard finding allies who hate him. What actually happened to Semyon?
Von Bergov sent his men to take revenge on him. Both Jan and Olda are alive, but they had to flee. Henry and I helped them. It was a close shave. We burnt down the fortress to cover their escape, so von Bergov wouldn't suspect anything.
Oh, thank God for that at least. They're good men. It would be a sad loss.
Yeah, good point.
How did you manage to set that trap in the ravine so quickly?
It is a good thing that we
heard
did
about
that.
the sortie the evening before.
I have my sources.
Come on! I think you can trust us after all that's
Catherine?
happened, can't you?
I'll give you a piece of advice, Lord Capon. Don't trust anyone.
What are we going to do now?
That's so
We can't
unhelpful.
stay here. God knows what plots those fuckers are hatching right now. We should get ready to leave. Von Berghoff may have lost lots of men, but he won't take this lying down. Word will get out about his humiliation, and the League of Lords will come to his aid.
Where will we go?
I don't know yet. What about that Jobst of yours? Should you send word to him?
He's still somewhere in Brandenburg.
So the best thing would be for all of us to go back to Ratai. Wouldn't you like to join us, Zizka?
That sounds like a plan.
You see? Oh, and would you like me to take another look at your eye? An open wound is the last thing you want on a journey.
Is medicine another of your skills? On top of sword fighting, boozing, and preaching?
Giving the last rites isn't the only thing I can do for a fallen man. War is a good teacher.
All right, then. You could look at the bandage for a start. The stench bothers me more than the pain.
That's a really bad
You're
sign.
lucky it was this one. It must be cursed. I almost lost it as a child already. And then you came along. Still, I have no one to blame for challenging you and taking off my helmet. I'll hand out orders and come and join you in the fort.
You did take off your
So
helmet.
Hans can take you there.
That was probably a bad idea.
Holy shit!
Don't worry. I'm sure it doesn't look half as bad as it feels.
I'm glad he's not showing us. That is really...
I'll have to clean that out.
Yeah, I'm very thankful that we're not seeing this.
Just get it over with.
Oh, unpleasant. Yeah, very unpleasant. Yeah, the drink first was necessary. Jesus.
Will you survive?
With God's help.
That's not what I asked.
The wound isn't deep. As long as it doesn't fester, it'll be all right.
So, he won't go blind?
He won't lose his eye. He just needs to get a good night's sleep.
We all do. We're leaving early in the morning before von Bergov comes and kicks us out.
Can we help somehow?
Good move.
Aye. Go to bed and no more fighting. And keep your hands off our Clara. Got it? But if you really want to be useful,
she was...
You can help Bluster load the car.
Whatever.
I think I know where we're most needed now.
I am
I'm
on
going to
kind
need
of
your
late,
help.
Klaus.
Leave me out of it.
Sorry, it's been past midnight.
I'm still seeing
you
stars
waited
from
until
that
after
bang to my
midnight to
head.
razz me about it.
I'll
What's
be
this?
happy to
What is
help.
this?
What can I do?
I gotta save
Should
the clip
say
once
a
we get to
few
this.
words
so.
for those who can no longer hear anything.
Amen.
And dig their graves.
Game saved, but also...
Thank God we managed to survive until evening at least.
But also the
Now
quest
it's
is
time
kind
to
of
go to those
ongoing,
who were not so
which...
lucky.
Oh no, I'm hungry and tired. I shall eat honey and a chicken leg. And, and a dried perch.
At least they now have eternal peace from everything. And they don't have to choose a lesser evil.
I couldn't help.
We're going a little
overhearing
late,
you
but I do
talking
want to
about
finish this up.
tragedy in Samine. Was that also the choice of a lesser of two evils?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's really a shame you didn't arrive earlier, Godwin.
Why? Do you think things would have turned out differently?
I don't know. Aldo was truly guilty, but to kill and to punish are two different things.
God gave us the power to punish. But we have to deal with our consciences ourselves. If you don't watch out, you'll end up drowning in all that spilt blood. Well, maybe all these hardships will be for the best in the end. Everything has a reason. In the end, we're the lucky ones. We're still alive, unlike others, eh?
Some of them might have fallen even by my hand.
I understand. Trust me, it's all the same to them now. The best thing you can do for their souls, and yours, to find peace, is to dig graves for them. But enough of that. We still have another burning question here. Why didn't von Berghoff come with you to the battle in person?
He was expecting an important visitor. I just heard it was someone from Prague.
In the context of all this, that is very interesting.
Prague is full of politicians and traitors. Well, it seems that has nothing to do with what happened. We're here! Would you please take care of those poor wretches and lay them to rest? In the meantime, I'll pray Christe eleison. Kyrie eleison. Lord, grant me eternal rest. Requiem aeternam.
Okay, yeah, I need a nap. After quite a bit of arduous work. Yeah, speaking of, do I have any... Hold on. 30 degrees, no. Imbrication. No. Box? No. No. Stamina and stamina regeneration. No, I don't need stamina, I need energy. Imbrication does that, right? No. Here it is. Cockerel. But it's... I only have weak cockerel. Darn. Klaus says, speaking of killing versus punishment, today I learned that the long-term incarceration as a punishment is a relatively recent development in the history of English language law. Yeah, I knew that. It only came about in the 1700s. Before that, virtually all punishments were corporal and capital. Yeah, I knew that. Long-term incarceration was, first of all, impractical. To keep someone incarcerated for a long period of time was almost impossible, certainly impractical. So yeah, it was not a common punishment. Which, and really, I would say it's largely an invention of modernity. That's not laid very nicely, but whatever.
In Jerusalem.
Do you know anything about Teresa from the Rattay Mill?
Gotta ask about
You
Teresa.
mean that nice girl who saved your life in the ruins of Skalitz?
Aye. If she hadn't shown up that time, Runt would have killed me. So do you know what she's up to?
Why? Did you promise her something?
Yeah, kinda.
Well, like you said, she's a kind girl and quite pretty as well. I'd like to see her again when we get back to Sasau.
I didn't hear anything new about her in these last few days since she left. But if she likes you, I'm sure she'll wait for you.
Oh.
Do you know where I can sleep in the castle?
You'll find your bed in that tiny little hut, right past the gateway to the lower castle.
Oh, good. Okay.
Do you think we did enough for those poor souls?
We did what was necessary.
That's good. Bloody tired.
Oh,
Me
come
too.
now, you're young.
Not that tired,
You can't
but yeah.
be all that worn out.
It is late.
I have
Classic.
something that'll get your blood pumping.
Oh, Godwin, couldn't I... Can it wait?
No, wait. You'll see. It'll kick your arse for you.
I think I'll lie down and wait for it.
Come to the castle moat. I'll wait for you there.
Why? Why? I don't want to do that. I want to sleep. First of all, I also need to wash off. This is absurd. That says, I think immediate corporal punishment would be a heck of a lot better at deterring crime by low IQs who barely have a concept of time, but it prevents any kind of legal process without judge threats. You can have... I think that, well, first of all, it was in the sort of pre-modern context, in the medieval context at least, magistrates were actually rather common. That is, someone who was essentially roving. Their job was to pass judgment. And that judgment involves the witness of a crime, or at least witnesses to a crime, and punishment for it. Now, with something like modern due process, you're right, that can't be done that quickly. And that is, I think, intrinsically a problem, especially for people of a certain low IQ, as you point out.
This'll interest you. Our friend here will show you what his diabolical contraption can do.
Neat.
It's called a pistol.
I guess I am going to midnight 30. It's midnight 30 for me. I want to finish this. I want to actually get to sleep.
You can shoot down a knight in armor, horse and all.
I've already seen what it can do. A weapon like that killed the Chamberlain this morning.
Let's not worry about that now, all right?
I've
You have
washed
a
off. Why do I
unique
still look like
chance
this?
To try it out. From the right end for a change.
Have you ever shot one, Godwin?
Me? Never. But at the Battle of Kosovo, I witnessed what damage bronze bells filled with black powder can do.
I've heard of those. Those must have been bombards. A terrible weapon of the Turkish Sultan.
What smells so bad here?
Schwarzpulver. Or gunpowder, brother. It may stink, but it's damn flammable.
And quite
Yeah,
dangerous
it is.
if you don't know how to handle
Especially
it,
unprepared
eh?
gunpowder.
How do you
It's
shoot
got a
with
sense
that?
to it, I'm sure.
It's not that hard. When you're careful.
All right. But just tell me the most important details.
Shooting from a pistol isn't difficult. It has a barrel in the front, which is loaded with gunpowder, a ball, and wadding. As soon as it's loaded in that
Yeah,
order,
primarily it's sulfur.
you put
Yeah.
the gun under your shoulder and light it with a wick. But watch out for the recoil. It's awfully powerful, like being kicked by a horse.
Oh, that doesn't sound bad, does it, Henry?
We'll see about that.
Neat.
Good. Let's try
I
shooting.
do want to try this. This does sound
Careful
fun.
now. I don't want to have to go looking for all your pieces.
Well, you look like you're all in one piece, so you'll surely be the best teacher.
That's true. So far, I've only had to have 2 fingers.
Yeah,
scratched
yeah,
back on.
you're right. He's kind of scratches his face through the face.
But don't worry. I'm sure
He's just trying to rub
Kenneth
off all the
will
mud.
protect
He's
you.
trying to rub the dirt
Maybe
off
a
of his,
prayer would help more.
helmet.
Good idea. O merciful God, be kind and protect us so we don't blow our arses off. Amen.
Amen. Good prayer. Good
so
prayer.
let's get to it.
Okay, so we do that. We put in powder. Let's look straight down the barrel. Oh, God. Wow, I missed horribly. Not even close. Not even close. Oh, the loading on this is just... What the... Fuck. Nope, I'm... Good lord. Alright, if I don't see you, Imp Simp, have a good night. Yay, I hit one.
My God, this really is a diabolical contraption.
Alright, that was fun. That was fun.
Holy
Where do you get a
balls!
scope? I don't think a scope would do much.
Racket! And that stench! Ah!
I mean, they're reasonably good to be fired en masse, I would think.
It's got quite a kick.
Yeah, with about 6 centuries.
What a load of bollocks!
No, not quite, not quite. There were scopes for
something with that would take a miracle.
light muskets, like
It's a
mini balls.
miracle we still have both our arms.
Aye. I once saw it
Maybe
rip
not
a
scopes.
bloke's
There were
face off,
sights, though.
along with half his body.
Such an accurate shot. From how many paces?
None. He was the one doing the shooting.
Sweet mother of Jesus.
A diabolically dangerous weapon.
I'll stick to a
told
crossbow,
you
thank
so.
you, please.
This is the weapon of the future.
I'd like to see that.
No problem. I have one handgun here, and it's no good to placard anymore. Do you want it?
It's definitely not for me. Let the youngster here take it.
What? Seriously?
Of course. Here you go. But I don't have much gunpowder left. So you have to find some yourself.
And if you have all the saints on your side, it might not kill you straight off.
Thank you very much.
I think I'll stick with the crossbow.
I'll see what I can do with it.
It was
All right,
already
then.
newfangled enough.
Thanks for the demonstration, Master. We have a long journey ahead of us tomorrow. I'm gonna hit the hay.
Likewise.
You do what you want, but keep out of trouble. Got it?
Okay, let's let's go to sleep. Hold on. Let me see some real quick. Try to get new out. I'm gonna
Coming up. There's a nice view from here.
I'll be right with you.
There's a beautiful view of the sunset from here. And the only thing I want now is for it to set and for this fucking day to be over. Come and have a chat.
Fair enough. Let's do that next time. I'm going to save and quit. So thank you all so much for joining me. That was a long one, but it was a fun one. I had a great time. There was a lot of battles. There was a lot of action tonight, and a lot of neat political intrigue. So I wasn't lying when I was announcing the stream. So anyway, join me again next week. We're going to continue from right here. Some more just straightforward plot stuff. And like I said, I think after this we are going to Kuttenberg eventually. I thought it would maybe be tonight, but we'll see. In any case, join me again on Thursday as well. We are almost certainly going to finish Jedi Academy. Then who knows what we'll do next. If you have any input as to what you'd like to see me play next, do let me know. I'm thinking very seriously about Expedition 33, Clair Obscure. I don't have it yet, but I was thinking about picking it up. I was hoping it would go on sale before I got around to it, but such luck. But I am thinking about it. It looks really good. It sounds really good. I've heard great things about it. It's very philosophical because it's a French JRPG. So filled to the brim with existentialism, as one would expect. Anyway, really think about playing that. So that might be a good new Thursday game. So starting next week. But if you have input on the matter, let me know. I've been thinking about the Fable trilogy as well at some point. I've been thinking about The Witcher 3. But I've also been thinking I might not want to mix my fantasy or mix my historical fantasy stuff too much. So maybe I'll do one of those after I'm done with Kingdom Come. So that'll be eventually. Anyway, there are some thoughts. Think about it, you all think about it. I'll think about it. I'll see you guys on Thursday. So, until then, thanks for joining me. And remember, don't be safe. Be well. And more importantly, be good. Good night, folks.